Hey Kirk, how's it going? I think I'm just about ready. I was just taking a look at some things. I realized, one, I forgot to update the UI, and then two, I didn't space the subtitles between the names and the subtitles correctly, and I see a difference. I'm gonna blame wearing glasses for that last one. I'm doing not super well today. I slept terribly. I had lower back pain that woke me up. So I had kind of less hours than normal, but I'm like, you know what? I already prepped for today. I think I'll do okay-ish in terms of commentary. I think I'm conscious enough to talk, so I mean, that's good enough. I have a lot of notes in terms of just some general references to make sure to bring up, because I don't think I brought them up previously. I don't think I'm going to go into super detail for all the references this game makes, because it makes a lot of them. But I'll just bring up in particular, I think, for the expedition. Oh, I'm stretching, and I think I'm about ready to go. So I want to show a little bit of a before and after before we formally get into the game proper. So the last session ended with us... Let me switch over to the game visual. So we ended off unlocking Expedition. We were in a port, I think it was Zexen, which is attached to the land that we know as Midgand, and we can walk across Midgand to go to Logris. So our goal is to get to Logris. I was gonna say, I can hear, but I don't see. There we go. So I just want to show a little bit of the before and after. So we're gonna go ahead into the before file. So I'm gonna show you how much I cut out in between. So if we take a look at the expedition, well, I'll just do it here. So we could see that I only had... Let me read dispatch. I only had 2 things unlocked at the end of the previous stream. Hey Chris, how's it going? And there's a lot of different materials you have to unlock just by repeatedly doing the expedition over and over and over. And one other thing I want to draw your attention to is that our cooking levels are not all that great. I'm sorry, one moment. We have like 1s and 3s across the board. I just want you to remember that, chat. You know, we're not doing so hot when it comes to that. So, roughly like an hour later, post-stream, I'm gonna show you the difference of what an hour makes. We're not gonna show it all on stream, but I will gladly take that glittering shell that popped up there. That's one of the better items to get from that particular expedition. Let me cancel one more time. My fingers automatically went to resume the expedition because I've trained my hand to do that without conscious thought. But here I want to talk about all the different ones that we've unlocked here. And I'll very briefly touch upon some of the references, just to give you an idea of just like how many references are in the game in general. And again, I will not try to go into super detail, but just to give you an idea, like just even things like basic names are all references to other Tales series. The Expedition screen in particular has so many of them. So I think, for example, Steve had mentioned in the previous session the game called Tales of Tempest. This lemon, I think it's Lyman, is named after the Beast People race, and the Red Jewel Pendant is something that belongs to the protagonist. Then for the Dynamo Islands, this is a Tales of Fantasia and Arakiri dungeon reference. And the outfits that you get from the treasure, which is that little golden icon, represents the protagonists. Most of them, I think, represent the protagonists. I'm kind of double checking. So then we have the X Sphere C, which is a reference to Tales of Symphonia. And I will try not to talk about this one too much because I feel like that one's a spoiler. But this is a statue of a specific character you see in Symphonia. Let's see. The next one would be Tales of Innocence. And it's named after the general of the Census Army. And the portrait is of... I'm not sure. It might be the title screen, if I remember correctly. Then, like, just to kind of go through the list a bit more swiftly, we have, like, Tales of the World, Radiant Mythology for Kano Island. Normans, we already know from Tales of Zestiria. The Soma Volcano is Tales of Hearts. Barbados Archipelago is Tales of Destiny 2, named after the main antagonist. You might recognize him indirectly, because if you recall when... something we'll see later, there's an enemy that steals items when you attempt to use that. That's making fun of Tales of Destiny 2. For a bit of clarity. It's copying his ability, but in like a parody way. Then we have the Force Islands, which is representing Tales of Rebirth. Then we have the Marcian subcontinent, which I believe is Tales of Graces. Tales of Legendia is the Crystalline Sea. Centurion Island is Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of the New World. Tipo Island is named after one of the toys following one of the protagonists in Tales of Xillia. Kresnik is definitely Tales of Xillia 2. Then we have the Crichton Island for Tales of Berseria. I actually don't understand the reference for this one, because that is one of the few ones I have not seen or played. So I'll probably do that on stream at some point, chat. Then Cheagle is definitely Tales of the Abyss. I unfortunately understand that reference. We have the Isles of Noct and Dia, which is another Tales of the World. Reve Unida, I think? And finally, we wrap it up with Tales of Fantasia with Albane, Swordian Peninsula, which is definitely named after the living weapons in Tales of Destiny, and Quickie Peninsula, which I believe is supposed to be Tales of Eternity. There is a lot to take in. I mean, just like every single thing here is just a reference kind of going through here. I just wanted you to understand the scope of like how many references are in the game, and it's okay if you don't understand them, but if you were curious where some of those references came from, those are all the Tales games that have references in or are referenced from this game. If you were curious to understand every single little wink wink nudge nudge name, you would have to play all those games. Is it relevant? Not really. Not really, chat. Kirk is saying it would be interesting, since it references all these other games, if you could have actually gone to the other lands than just referencing the minigame. Technically, you visit some of the areas in Zestiria, but in Berseria, we then retroactively go to areas we saw in Zestiria. But I agree. It would probably have been neat if there was a bit more than just a couple cameos. It's sort of similar to the modern Tales games. There will be cameo fights referencing other Tales games, and unfortunately you guys will not understand the cameos because I've not played those particular games on stream yet. But I probably will at some point. Yeah, like, just to give you an idea of how intense some of the references are in the game, even things like the inn names and the shopkeepers are all named after characters or locations from previous Tales games. Just to give you an idea. And I forgot one additional thing. So we're going to take a look at the cooking menu. I might have been busy cooking. Everybody's now at 20, by the way. So we unlocked a ton of recipes. I'm not able to basically make any of these. Not because I didn't get the ingredients, but because I sacrificed them to the cooking gods in order to get to level 20. Now, the reason I rushed for level 20, it actually wasn't for any particular skill or ability for clarity. So if you look at some of the... I'll go through these as I reference this, but basically if you look at the chef's hat, it tells you what level you unlock things. The max level for the cooking minigame is 25. I always recommend doing recipes from places that you get ingredients from the islands, because I believe if you were to quantify the experience, even if they're bad at the recipe, it gives 10 experience, whereas if they're good at the ones where you could buy it in the store, I think it's only worth 4. Even in the best case scenario, it's only worth 4. So just by doing the expeditions over and over and over again, I managed to get a ton of ingredients, which has led to a ton of upgrades for the different characters. But what I really wanted to say was that we rushed cooking level because there's actually skits based off our cooking level, sort of similar to Zesteria, where if you got some of the passive skills to a high enough level, it affected things like battle quotes, and you eventually got a skit related to it. So I believe the numbers I had to hit were 15 for Aizen, 15 for Velvet, and then 20 for Velvet. But I just put everybody at 20 because I forget if the other characters have any other skits offhand. So money-wise, I have not really shifted from where you last saw. I did not sell any items. We'll probably do that in a few moments. Let's take a look at this strange creature, chat. Slash thrust pop. Who wants to play a game? So, I'll show off each of these games. We're going to return to them later when we have more skills, but I'll just show them now. So, we'll just play the first minigame as Velvet. We'll do stage 1.
Here I come. Got you.
Okay.
Come on, really?
That's where the got you is God tier in the beginning. Because she moves forward and can hit multiples. And that's why that skill is really dumb. Because early on in the game, you don't really have a lot of moves that can deal with these kinds of mini-game challenges. So for beating it for the first time, we got 360, and then we got a generic reward of 400 from him. So it will get harder and harder, and I will probably not end up doing the other challenges right away, as I said before. I want to come back when we have a better move set. But I just want to give you an idea. There are little mini games you could kind of play throughout, which kind of breaks things up a bit. So I want you to remember, chat, this one is just do as much damage as possible. So we'll just do some basic damage, nothing too crazy.
Come on, really?
So we do as much damage as we can in like a few seconds. So you can see, like, we didn't do super well. Like, we ended up in 8th. You know, nothing too crazy. You basically get points based off the damage. So because we placed for the first time, we're getting another 400 coins. Now, the question you might naturally ask is, okay, you have all these coins, what do they do? So if you go into the item exchange, the only thing I would say I would play these mini games for the first time you play through are the accessories. So I don't have to do any of this. I've already beaten it in a different playthrough. Actually, on this stream, I've beaten it on a different playthrough. But there are a lot of costumes you can unlock. But since we don't really need any of that, we could save it up for some of these other materials. I will let you know that all of the non-accessory materials are very inappropriately priced. It makes no sense why bronze scrap, just one bronze scrap is 6,000 points. That makes no sense. It's like one of the worst materials, and you don't even get a lot of it. It's so dumb. Odorless fluid is the only one that kind of makes sense to cost 6,000. It's still overpriced, but the bronze scrap being 6,000 is very insulting. This should have at least been like the unnamed material for how many points that is. So we'll come back when we got some super spells. We're basically gonna cheat it out at some point. And I'm gonna go beat it when we play as Laphicet, who has like the easiest time beating it if you get all the way basically to the end of the game and then do it. I'm trying to remember where this last chest is, just because I see it on the indicator. It's not around the building. I remember walking around that building thinking they'd hide a chest back there, and they're like, nope. The only other thing I can think of is we might be missing one skit. So before we formally leave town, let's go check the inn, because I don't think I did that on stream last time. BS chat, there are just so many references in the game. I will not point all of them out, because there are literally, I don't know, like 80 references plus, but it's fun. There is another skit we could see in here. Let's start with this one.
I've heard there's a prison island somewhere where they keep the worst of the worst, but it's a hard tale to swallow.
It's true.
And the rumors that hundreds of demons are imprisoned there?
Fact.
People say that no one has ever escaped from there alive.
That one's a lie. After all, we're here.
Wait, you don't mean...
Keep your mouth shut. Otherwise, you'll fare worse than anyone on that island.
Yes, sir. I didn't hear a thing.
I like how poor journeyman sailor, we're just threatening him. You say, I ain't seen nothing, I ain't heard nothing. Now get out of here before you stick up my memory. I mean, we're a pretty memorable group. Yassault townsperson. News of the ceremony traveled all the way down to the southern islands. There'll be a speech about the future of the land. And how could I possibly miss that? So that's another person that came from the southern islands. You need a place to stay, we got you covered, our beds are the comfiest. Well, we'll spend a little bit of cash, chat. Now, one thing I want to double check. What was the name of this place? Oh, Maxwell's Rendezvous. Oh, don't worry, chat. You'll understand this reference one day. We'll definitely play Tales of Xillia at some point. Let's see. It came all the way from Helavies and Northgand. Just in the chat saying East alt, like the YS. Oh man, the puns will never end. Let's see. I had to get permission from Lady Teresa and went through an inspection at Vortigern. Hey, we understand all these references because these are places we've been to. It was quite a trial, but the ceremony is a once-in-a-lifetime event, and it'll be worth it. Oh, we'll make it a memorable ceremony. Don't worry, Helavies, man and woman. Alright, so what is the weapons store name? It's called Dunamis. I guess I'll briefly flex my ability to recognize Tales references. Now, this one was a bit more obscure. I didn't get it right away, but this was one of the untranslated Tales game references. I think it's Tales of Destiny 2. It's named after the antagonists. No, I'm sorry, protagonists. But there's just tons and tons of references, chat. I'm telling you. Like, it just never ends. So, speaking of never ends, we need to make sure that our supply of items never ends, so we're going to go ahead and purchase items. Now, I don't think I talked about the store more explicitly, but basically, to cap out the store and get something that's actually worth getting just to have it, we need approximately 15 million. I think more precisely, it's like 14.5 million, if we want to get technical. It's not quite a nice round number, but we need to just keep spending money. So we went ahead and we purchased everything there. Now what we need to kind of pay attention to is what other things can we equip and how can we improve them. So we're eventually going to get into this, so we'll upgrade it. Ooh. Oh, this is painful. I only have one bronze scrap. Meanwhile, Pumper Upper is just completely dumb. Oh, we didn't get lucky. So if we got really lucky, chat, we would have gotten the equipment drop rate plus 35%, because that is so stupid to have at this point in the game. Especially since we're just, like, kind of fishing for items in general. Let's see. We'll go through armor. Oh, we have some Florix here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and prepare ourselves for later. Why not? Oh, we have regular waistcoats I could get rid of. Let's get rid of some of those for some bronze scraps. It's fine. Wow, we have just a ton of items I'm not really using. So let's trim the fat, as it were. Get rid of some of those things. Again, I will usually not use some of the weaker items. They're just here to teach skills. So it's good for... Oh, actually, that's one thing I also didn't explain. So you might have noticed that the materials received varies depending on what I'm getting rid of. So I just want to briefly explain it. If an item has no skills, which is very common if you're playing on the lower difficulties, but extremely uncommon if you're playing on the harder difficulties, then it'll transform into an odorless fluid, which is one of the harder materials to get. So when I see something like this, I will pause, because we're playing on Chaos, so that doesn't usually happen. So what I can do is I can improve, for example, the Earth Ring, which had nothing, and then the Fire Ring, which had nothing. And doing that allows us to get additional materials from it. So I spent 1 calcite to get 2 back, 1 odorless fluid, and 1 coarse. Now, I think if I had carried over all of the things from the post-game, from the previous playthrough, we would have been able to get 2 odorless fluid from doing that. But it looks like I don't have the bonus item, which doubles the amount of materials you get from smithing. But still, it's a good idea that if you don't have coarse tempering powder maxed out, which is necessary to get everything up to at least +3, to just kind of go through that process. Just kind of train yourself to not just like auto dismantle. So you have to do it quickly, but not like too quickly, if that makes sense. Because you do have to at least interpret what you're viewing. We'll give Aizen a +3, just because that'll give us a nice bonus. Oh. Rokuro's not even wow. I'm not sure why I didn't bother maxing that weapon, because we definitely had that. Fortunately, we have a lot of the other kinds of material. We seem to be super low on bronze, which is kind of unfortunate. So I'm just kind of cherry picking what to upgrade. I think that's good enough for now. If I were to spend about another 652,000, I think that would put us at roughly rank 12 out of 20. After that, it starts scaling up enormously in terms of how much cash we need. But again, we're not in a rush to complete that. Actually, speaking of which, I forgot one other thing. So if you're wondering before how to get a lot of money in the game, if you go through all the expeditions and you go to the final one, you have a chance of getting an item called the Glinting Glitterfish Glitter, which gives you 30,000 every single time you pick it up. So we're going to make sure to sell these items. So anything you see that has a lot of cash here, if you don't recognize it, I just got it from expeditions. So we'll get rid of the Poseidon Spine, the Red Beard Kraken Eye. We're just going to get rid of these. They just give little small flavor text to the sellables, but we'll just junk these because it's free cash. I think selling items also counts towards the total you need to make from the shop. Oh. Look at that, we got a few pirate flags to sell. So you can imagine with the time exploit we were doing before for the expeditions, just like how silly it is in terms of how much cash you can make. So basically we started off with only getting like 150 or so cash from the particular expeditions, but now we got another 205,000, and now we reach level 10 and receive an additional discount. We received a new belt, which is kind of unfair. If you read the description, not the item description, but it says, allows usage of Break Soul without spending souls. And I'm like, yes, please. Absolutely, chat. Oh, hey, Lens. Lens, I think we're in a few game. That's a alternative currency in Tales of Destiny. I think it also comes up in Tales of Eternia, if I'm not mistaken, but it's not a currency in that game. Oh, Kitty Crisps. Oh, I'm recognizing all these items from different games, chat. Oh, Kitty Crisps. You're a very popular Tales item. Oh, Longdow. Yeah, we'll do Zilia again at some point. Princess Story Collection, the Lucky Cat, Fake Food. Like even the valuables, chat, are all references to other games. Like, not so much like Flamestone, but things like we got from the expedition, like Fake Food. Wow, chat, we are sitting back on 1 million, so we're doing excellent in terms of money. Again, I'm just gonna keep junking our items. We really don't need them here. We apparently have a lot of octopus, so I guess I'll keep that in mind for purchasing reasons. So let's go see that belt we just unlocked, chat. Also, I should probably... Oh, I don't have another weapon for Velvet, so we should probably hunt for one. So right now on the Aphrodite one, so my Break Soul power plus 30%. And that's good, because you see me do the Break Soul to make her Giant Claw come out to go into her new form. So that doing more damage is kind of nice as an enhancement bonus. Now, this 8% chance not to lose soul during break soul is absolutely stupid, chat. I cannot wait for this. We're going to be stacking all the percentages. So just imagine, chat, like how many combo resets I get with Velvet because I'm able to do her take that with the claw attack to reset my combo. Imagine that not even costing a soul. And then it has an enhancement bonus, chat, of well, I think every item on the belt increases the damage our claw does with the break soul power up. But then this one also gives break soul HP recovery times 30 or 1.3%, which is just, it's very dumb. It's very dumb on Velvet. I don't think they should have given that to us, honestly. But that's called that's their fault, chat. So we're gonna go ahead and swap out some items. Ooh, we have an amber waistcoat I should probably buff up. So it seems like some of these things are not quite mastered yet. That's unfortunate. Oh, he's actually done with the wristlet. So I need to make him go back down to amber. Again, the goal is to just slowly learn every skill that we can pick up. But if we can't get a skill, we're not really going to fret about it. Honestly speaking, we're not going for 100% skills. Unless the chat really wants me to get 100% skills. I think it's a little difficult only because some of the items are actually pretty hard to find. Even when you're looking for them, they could be kind of hard to find. Well, I think we could get a large majority of them in a normal playthrough if we do the post-game dungeon. Let's see. We're on the amber boots now. We'll leave them there. Oh, so we have all his titles. Ooh. I think at this point in the game, I'm going to start switching people over so that they get more blast gauge from a break soul, because this is really dumb. The goal is to basically just constantly spam out Mystic Arts. And every time you use a Mystic Art, you get a soul back. So I'd rather just get this bonus here. Plus, it increases the effect rate of art based off their level, which is also really dumb, because I basically just want to fish for stuns and other sorts of paralysis moves here. Also, I like that the starting title for the character currently known as Laphicet is that he gets 10% attack times 2. Like, that's just so silly. Oh, we didn't hit 150. This would have probably been my preferred one. Paper Enchanter is pretty overpowered. Ooh, now the elemental casting increase. That's very tempting. Now, the thing with Laphicet is that in this point in the game, it's actually not worth getting his Break Soul one because he can't really chain it together. You know what, chat? I'm gonna... because I like meleeing with him so much, I might as well as just make him a melee character. Hold on, chat. Let's fix the strategy for it. Close combat Laphicet, chat. Yeah, we don't need spellcasters. We're good. Yeah, so we earned a ton of cash, chat. It doesn't really make any sense. Oh, there's the chest I'm looking for. Oh, only a calcite blade. That's a shame. I remembered I was missing a weapon chest based off of what we picked up last time, but unfortunately it is not a new weapon. So we're now going to attempt to leave town. I don't think there's anybody else we could really chat to.
Scouts have reported seeing a powerful demon. Its danger level has been classified as Code Red.
Understood. I'll notify the Abbey we have a Code Red demon in our midst. Send out an emergency alert to the neighboring areas.
Right.
With wild demons this close to the capital, the Abbey must have had its hands full.
Eisen, what did he mean by a Code Red demon?
It's like a most wanted list for demons. From the latest I've heard, there's around 10 such demons across the territories.
Oh, they sound pretty tough.
That would be putting it lightly. Suffice it to say, you wouldn't want to face one unprepared.
Then we'd best be prepared.
Let's get going. While we're wasting time here, the Abbey is digging in.
Okay, so the game is introducing a mechanic called the Code Red Demons. So it says, well, also the way they split that sentence is very strange, chat. So one thing before I start the skit. So the Code Red Demons essentially will give us additional abilities to unlock. So my recommendation is you should always go after them. You should never skip them, ever, under any circumstance. You could get some really useful combat abilities for doing so. Okay, we're gonna go to the Ifreed skit, who I would also like to say, the fact that his name is Ifreed is also a Tales reference to other Tales games.
You said you heard about Ifreed on the prison island, right?
I heard an exorcist legate named Melchior took him away. I don't know anything beyond that.
Neither do I. What about you, Magilu?
Word is he was taken away about a year ago. Caused quite a stir, if I remember right. Everything about him was kept a tight secret. No one even knew what cell he was in.
Ifreed is an ordinary human, right?
Yeah. He doesn't have the abilities of an exorcist, and he isn't a demon either.
Weird. I mean, if they were just trying to bust up his gang, why capture him but leave the crew free?
If not his gang, what business does the Abbey have with him then?
We've cast our nets wide and can't come up with any explanation. We'll free him, though. His place is on the sea with us.
And you're convinced he's still alive?
They wouldn't have any problems killing a pirate who caused them trouble.
If the Abbey took him alive and for questioning, it means he has something they really want.
But he isn't the type to change his ways or bend his knee on anyone's orders.
He holds his own tiller.
Precisely.
Oh, why come with us? Another skit.
Why did you come back to us?
I could tell you all missed me something awful.
We didn't. At all.
And what about your search for this traitor?
He slipped away yet again. I've no clue where he ran off to.
You're a witch. Can't you use a spell or something?
My spellcraft works kind of like a three-legged race. It simply requires my backstabbing, slippery accomplice.
Like a con artist needs an accomplice.
I am not a con artist!
I'm not going to help you find your traitor, you know.
How cold! Such an icy stare could freeze fire!
And you don't have anyone else?
Well, no.
Do you have a home to return to?
Nope.
Do you know a trade other than magic?
Nope.
What is it, Laphicet?
Magilu's story made my chest feel funny. And my nose is runny.
The witch has no friends, no home, and no purpose. I think what you're feeling is pity.
Pity?
It's when you feel sorrow for someone else.
I pity Magilu.
Oh, come on!
I actually really do like their interactions, chat. It still makes me laugh, even just re-witnessing them. Yeah, we're getting a bit more of a character dynamic. So apparently she has no home to return to. She doesn't want to return to family. Oh, here we go, chat. See what I mean about this kind of unlocking randomly? So the game is saying, okay, you had enough opportunities to get into fights, so we're gonna let you do two different variations of encounters. So there's the back attack, which is just you start with one less soul, which is not good. And more importantly, we now unlocked yet another kind of encounter. So advantageous, if we get behind them, we get extra souls. But we're looking for the... See, this chat is where I think they had some translation issues. Like, this is an example. So it says it's a perilous encounter here, but I think the rest of the translations call it a dangerous encounter. I'm pretty sure they just call it a dangerous encounter. So if you look at it, if we have two or more enemies near each other, which will be designated by a dark shadow, their levels will go up. Our HP restoration is reduced by 1/4. It takes 4 times as long to retreat. Enemy reinforcements will join mid-battle. And what it also doesn't say...
Onward to Logris!
Wait, you're coming too?
Is that we can fight optional bosses. So people that never really bothered with the dangerous encounters, you actually missed out on a lot of different items. So sorry if that was you. So we're going to try to get into a dangerous encounter. I think there's roughly 5 different bosses. It depends on what area you fight them in as to what boss you'll get. Like if we fought for example, in Hell of Ease, we would have gotten one of 2 bosses. Here we could get a different boss from the one in Hell of Ease. So we're gonna go ahead and try to lure the enemies a little closer together. There we go. Yeah, see, it's called Dangerous Encounter. Now, these enemies are much higher level, so they have a decent chance of actually killing us, chat. Okay, we're gonna let them know they're wide open, chat. There we go. I finally got to chain a Mystic Art. Yes. Go in, Mega Team. Very necessary damage. Oh yeah, we're doing so little damage. I need to get way stronger, chat. The fact that that didn't kill any of the enemies is just sad. Oh, he actually blocked that last hit. Good for him.
We're pretty much screwed.
Ooh. I'm kind of waiting for the stun, but it's not happening. I'm gonna try to force it. There we go. So one other thing I want to mention is that you can also teleport in on an enemy if they become fatigued. So if you do end up using spells, you don't have to worry that your spells don't stun in order to say that they're wide open with the demonic drive. Don't worry about that, chat. There we go. Now we're kind of getting into a loop with him, which is exactly what I wanted to see. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So that should be a dead enemy because it said crush. As you can see, we could just tell them they're wide open over and over and over again. There's very little they could do about it. Once the Eisen train has started, it just never stops. Like, look at this damage, chat. Like, oh, you thought you were safe? You're wide open again. Should probably block more often. Like, look at how many times you could loop this skill, chat. Like, this is just so silly. Oh, I got hit. Oh, I got killed. That's a shame. Now we got to see the downside to Eisen, is if he gets hit, he just kind of explodes. Yeah, you could tell we're very much under-geared for how quickly we died there. So there is actually a risk of dying in this game. I just want to make it clear. I just usually don't let the enemy have a chance. But since we're playing a dangerous encounter, Oh. Oh, I might be in trouble here, actually. I'm gonna need Loppy Set to go ahead and use a life bottle. Probably on Rokuro. Why did I dodge in place? I hit backwards. Oh, did the tree stop me from backstepping? Oh, that was rude. If that's what happened, I'm very upset. Because I definitely hit backstep, and I definitely did not go anywhere after doing so. We'll try this again. Oh, I game overed. Well, that's a dangerous encounter for you, chat. We are under-geared. That's a shame. I was hoping we would be a bit more better geared than we are, but apparently we are not good enough to beat the dangerous encounters. What can we do to rectify this situation? So they're doing a ton of damage. Let's see, what could I do? Well, first of all, I need to remember to increase my equipment level there. I think that's part of the reason why I lost. I don't think there's anything else I can really upgrade, unfortunately. Oh, this will help. Wind element casting time minus 10%. That's great, because half his spells are wind. So yeah, we have to be very careful, because unfortunately we are extremely under-geared for Chaos difficulty. I think the game normally assumes you are... If you're playing Chaos, it would assume you are probably using some super gear at this point, but we don't have anything. The closest I have is maybe the Pumper Upper. That does add a lot to our magic. So I'm gonna have to fish out... We're gonna have to level, I think, a little more. Just a little bit. As you can see, like, these enemies are not taking a ton of damage from us, which is a bit of a shame. Oh well, time to tell them they're wide open regardless.
Perfect mayhem!
I'll get my revenge on the normal encounter.
But I'm this close. I won't miss. Form zero. Thunder.
No mercy! Wounds that won't heal.
So one thing I'll just explain here is the game does not tell you you could chain the Mystic Arts together, which is kind of like a shame on you game moment. So basically, sort of similar to Berseria, you just hold the button down in order to initiate the blast art. Like that's pretty similar. You could go into the Mystic Art animation. What the game doesn't tell you is that during anybody else's Mystic Art, you could continue to hold the Mystic Art button down, and what will happen is that if I hit right, for example, it'll use the person to the right of me's Mystic Art next.
I forget about it.
And you just keep tapping / mashing it. Once we get more party members, chat, we'll also be able to tag in other party members that are not currently in battle, which is kind of nice. So I just want to bring that to the chat's attention. Once you know about that, the game becomes much, much easier. So what we're going to do is we're still going to go for the other boss fight, as I said before. We don't need to necessarily get a dangerous encounter, so it should happen just by chaining enough battles together, I believe. I don't think it is mandatory for it to be a dangerous encounter. I think it goes faster if it is, but it's not mandatory. Oh my gosh, chat, it's starting. The combo loop. Oh my gosh. So one other thing you want to keep in mind, chat, is anytime you see an enemy that's stunned in this game, that's usually the exact moment you want to go ahead and pop your Mystic Art, because the enemy will take a lot of damage based off your equipment due to the stun.
Sorry to cut you down.
If you're trying to kill a boss, you might go a little further and say, I also need to hit the weakness combo. But honestly, most of the time you hear the kind of sheen noise when you get the stun. You just pop the Mystic Art. Don't even think about it. It's just like a free kill. So we're now just getting some more skills here. So having an additional reduction on the time it takes to cast or use an item is good. So we'll just do a couple fights here. Our goal is to fight probably every enemy here in hopes of triggering the dangerous encounter. Due to the New Game Plus bonus that we got, I think we double the odds of us seeing one. Generally speaking, I will get close to the 2 times on a normal playthrough before I get into a dangerous encounter. Hopefully we see it as early as the 5 fights in a row. We'll see. Little boy is just dunking on this guy over and over. No mercy. Oh, I actually parried. Not parried. I perfect dodged right in his face. That was rude of me. But it felt good, chat. I'm gonna go take that soul since we're here. Now, the reason why I said it's not really worth getting the blast gauge up for our current character is, again, we don't have a Mystic Art. And you can see there's quite a... If you look below our souls, whenever I use this move, we can see that green gauge. And right now, I have to wait until that green gauge dissipates until I could use it again. So it's actually very slow to build up his Mystic Art gauge until you get further in the game. Then it gets much better. But right now, it does take a while to build up his Mystic Arts, unfortunately. Like, you could just... I'm just kind of having my way with this enemy. There's really nothing he could do. Like, even flat on the ground, I'm basically comboing him to death.
I refuse to fall here.
Ooh, Velvet learned Twin Whip, which is one of the moves that I do like to use. I want to make sure to swap out the plain paper. See, the wind and the fire attack bonuses are just honestly nowhere near as good as the master skill. But it's fine. We'll learn these just to learn these. So Twin Whip is an amazing ability. I want to make sure to set one of my abilities to Twin Whip. I love that it's just the same move over and over and over again. I forgot I did that, actually, since it's been a while. I think what I'll do is I will replace the first move in the combo with Twin Whip. Now, the reason why this move is pretty good for Velvet is not only does it have a kind of wide sweeping arc, because it says the upper kick immediately followed by sharp left kick, it's also of a water type. it stuns, much like Harsh Rebuttal or something like the Gouging Spin. It has an enemy type of Amorphous, and it stuns, and it attack downs. It's very useful. The only downside to it is it's starting to get a little more costly. So every single soul you have gives you 30 SP. So I can use this move a little less than 3 times, where comparatively I can use Gouging Spin 3.5 times. So that's why I'll usually end up doing Gouging Spin, because it's just cheaper most of the time. But if I'm looking to hit another damage type, Twin Whip is a good alternative. So I want to make sure to keep this combo going as long as possible. We're actually not going to detour over to the side so much.
You're strong, but I'm stronger. I'll stop you. It's the whiplash. You're wide open.
Oh no, they're wide open, chat. Uh-oh, Aizen AI. There's somebody that's wide open. Let me take him over real quick. Oh my gosh, chat. I just love Aizen's You're Wide Open. It's just so silly when it happens. I like to use Coercion because it brings them closer to you for other combo hits. It's just more convenient if I want to hit with some other moves like that one, for example. So you can see we're like 50 hit comboing that poor enemy. It has no chance against this at all. Like, this is just kind of sad. Like, it can't stop me from doing this. It's stunned. So it's going to take a ton of damage. Goodbye, enemy.
Fly away, little birdie.
Hey, we got 6th grade for that because we defeated an enemy with Mystic Art and we never took any damage. That's fair, chat. I'm sure that was completely fair. I saw we saw something called Beast Fang. So we got a new item for Velvet, so we might as well do that. So we just get 10% extra damage against beasts going forward once she learns that skill. So that seems pretty good. I don't think we got anything else there. So I'm basically going to murder my way up the hill. And then hopefully we should trigger the bonus boss. If not, we'll come back when we have better items. There we go. They're wide open, chat.
Let's go.
Ooh. Ooh, he actually missed the follow-up even though I was attacking him. There we go. I mean, just look at the combo loops, chat. Like, they really honestly can't escape this. It's kind of gross. Their only hope is that somebody hits Aizen from the side, because he's very bad at hitting side targets, at least at the moment. Oh my gosh, chat. Just look at the combo loop. Like, they're in the loop now. Goodbye, every enemy. Like, Aizen has now been activated, and he makes combat go so much faster. So one other thing I guess I could talk about while we're going through the combat, since I'm just going to be doing this for a little bit. The game tries to be fair in some sense of, like, your ability to come back with 1 soul. And at the same time, the game also tries to punish you for hoarding souls. Because the game wants you to be, like, at an average of 3 souls. Like, for example, different factors that are impacted by the souls are, like, the time you are staggered increases the more souls you have. The ability to inflict status ailments increases when you have lower amounts of souls, because the game wants you to be able to make a comeback so you could get that paralysis, etc. The amount of damage you take actually also goes up depending on the amount of souls you have. So if you're at 1 soul, I think you take 80% damage versus the bonus, versus the total of 100% slash the normal rate at 3 souls. But it'll continually go up over time. And one thing to kind of be wary of is that it's very easy for you to get a status ailment if you have a high number of souls. So you will also see me use the break soul often to make sure I will average out around 3. Which I guess also makes sense because 3 is the minimum you need to be able to use a break soul. So the game considers that the baseline is like a fair amount for you to have. So it's kind of a neat mechanic that I don't think is really touched upon in the game itself. But it's nice to know it's there. I mean, well, that's... well, that wasn't necessary. So I have a lot of souls now, so I have to be careful, because Glass Cannon Aizen will get bopped. So if you're wondering why sometimes I take like 500 or 300 something there, it's because I have too many souls. I just need to reduce the number of souls. Let me just look at this chat. Like, this is just so silly. Like, he's literally in a loop. He cannot escape that loop once it starts. And we're automatically at 3 blast gauge again. He builds it so fast, chat. It's so beautiful.
Victory is ours.
Oh, yes! Oh my gosh, chat. Okay, it's over. That was the other ability I was fishing for. Chat, this is the most broken move in the game. It's over. Oh, and I got paralysis chance by how much? Was that 8%? How much? Oh my gosh, come on, stop it. Oh no. Anybody that has seen me play the game before, they already know about this move. This move is so stupid. Hold on. Like, see these bone breakers and all the, like, no. Hurricane thrust. Let's go. It's the only move I need. This move is so dumb. I love it though, chat. I love it. Oh, actually, speaking of which, what I should probably do with, why is it not letting me go to the next page? Oh, I can't do that with the D-pad. I have to actually use the left stick. I forgot that was a thing. Let's do something like this. This is probably fine for now. Yeah. So, chat, this move is like one of the most overloaded abilities in the game, and it is just completely unfair. So for those of you who have not seen this move before, let's explain why this move is so stupid. First of all, it's a stun move that you could use exactly 3 times per soul. So, okay, that's a pretty good sign. You know, it's not too expensive. It's of a wind element, which is a very interesting element because we actually don't have too many wind moves in general to select from. So that's a good way to mix it up from our other paralysis kind of causing moves like Mowing Blade. It also has the kind of rare focus down, which is phenomenal because that just increases your ability to cause things like status ailments to occur. It is good against armored units, and they are usually one of the most annoying enemies to deal with in terms of getting them with status ailments. So we're automatically focus downing one of the most annoying enemy types. And then it causes stun. But what the game doesn't explain to you is like the amount of stun that it grants you is just so stupid. Like, hold on, let's just swap to Rokuro for a second, chat. Let's see how many hurricane thrusts it takes to stun an enemy. Oh, I got hit. It took 1, chat. 1 actual landing one. Come on. Stop it. Oh my gosh. Stop it, Rokuro. Stop it. Why do you stun so consistently? Oh my gosh. Stop it. It kind of crosses through them too, so it's very safe. It's just so dumb. It's so dumb. So Rokuro's other ability, just to explain it even further and why this move is completely broken, is that yeah, let's look at the last line of text for our Break Soul, which I have clearly mastered. I agree, game. I have mastered Vengeful Stance. So you take the parry stance, which we saw led to the counter of Vengeful Punishment, which does not trigger very often. But it increases the stun rate of attacks. So we have a move that either can just focus down them and therefore leave them more susceptible to status ailments, or it'll stun them, or it's their enemy weakness, or it's their elemental type weakness. This move is just like so versatile in its stupidity. It's amazing. So basically every single time I use Break Soul, I increase my stun chance. I just got double stun. This is so dumb. Like, just like, look at this. What can the enemy do?
Sorry to cut you down.
Like, okay, so chat. So for every R2 I have a brief period where I basically have double stun chance, but it usually stuns in 1 to 2 hits anyway. So whenever I use my Break Soul to heal myself and build Blast Gauge, I then basically get a guaranteed stun in 2 hits or less. And then it can stun multiple enemies. So I could spend 1 Break Soul to get 2 souls, and they're stunned, and they're possibly focused down. It is just so dumb. You will see me abuse this on basically every boss in the game without any mercy whatsoever. I do not feel bad for them, chat. If a boss is giving us trouble, we are going to show him the Hurricane Huh. So sometimes I call it the Hurricane Huh because I cancel Hurricane Thrust immediately into another stun. So if you listen carefully, let's get another stun, chat. Oh, I accidentally burned it. There you go. So listen for it. Listen for it. Oh, I got hit. I lost the soul. No, my soul. Stop it, aggressive enemies. Oh, that actually countered.
Victory is ours.
It was so dumb, chat. I love that move. I feel bad for people that never tried Rokuro and tried using that move because they don't understand how overpowered that is. Like, it's just something you have to experience. Like, he is clearly the best character at stunning.
Wow.
There is no
Those
contest.
walls. They're so huge.
That's Logris, the capital of the Empire. They keep demons out by enclosing the city within a great wall.
Humanity has achieved great things on the backs of slave Malakim.
Why the surprise, Laphicet? You've been here before, right?
I have. But back then, I was not who I am now.
I see. Tethered Malakim aren't even allowed the freedom to observe their surroundings.
We'll soon lose such freedom ourselves.
Huh?
We've reached the heart of the Empire and of the Abbey. Soldiers and exorcists are stationed all around. This is no place for a collection of villains like us.
I'm not looking for a place. All I need to find is Artorias. That's it.
Oh, get the grade bonus. Yeah, we saved it, chat. And keep in mind, chat, every time he goes huh and does the counter, I build a ton of blast gauge. It's just so dumb. Like, look at his blast gauge, chat. Look at that number ascend into the heavens. Oh, I got hit. That's bad, that's bad. I got hit. Or is it, chat? Because it just increases the chance that I stun. This move is so dumb. Oh my god. I love this move, chat. Please never nerf this.
Unarmed? Hardly. These are deadly weapons.
Oh my gosh. Hey, we got 9 grade from that. Oh, gee, we got a lot of grade from enemy stuns. Who would have seen that coming, chat? We got almost a whole grade point just because of how many times I used Break Soul and the enemy stun. Oh, we inflicted status ailments, which is presumably the focus down. Because that was fair. Oh my gosh, chat. This move is so stupid. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's a little secret when you play as Rokuro. Every other character in the game cares about focus. And I'm just gonna let you know, focus has no impact on your ability to stun that I'm aware of. So that's our dump stat. So we don't need this 44 focus. If we were going for like a paralysis build, or we were looking to do burn damage, which, you know, he can do those, we would go this way. But why would I do that when we have Hurricane? Like, there's no purpose. So we might as well as get this, which increases our firepower damage, which is okay. The one we're really looking for is wind damage up. If we get that, then that just improves our Hurricane and it's just completely over. Like, rest in peace, enemy. I mean, come on, chat. Come on, look at this. This is basically cheating. Like, this is... Oh, I got a counter. I don't know who bothered even trying to interrupt the Hurricane Huffs. But good on them. They tried. Now, the only downside is if the ally steals the stun like that, then I can't do the Hurricane Hut combo. And then I have to actually try. That's very unfortunate.
Come on, really?
Is everybody in the chat saying at least the group is aware that they aren't heroes? It's true. They at least acknowledge they are not on the good side. At least from the perspective of others. Oh no. Oh, he hasn't still learned the waistcoat. I'll switch this over to the Cal side, I suppose. So I think everybody's still learning some items. Unfortunately, we need to get more bags, so we'll have to find them out in the wild somewhere. Okay, what I'm gonna do, chat, I think I'm going to quick save, because I really don't want to lose my progress, but the bonus boss is not showing up for some reason. I thought he could show up without a dangerous encounter, but maybe I do need a dangerous encounter. Like, you could do the other battles not in a dangerous encounter, but maybe the boss specifically has to be in a dangerous encounter, because he should have shown up by now if he was going to show up. Ooh, I took some massive damage. This is bad. So one reason why Chaos Mode is kind of difficult at this point, because we didn't carry over the weapon bonuses. And the reason why that's a big issue is because we can't reduce stagger time. So if we get stunned, we will basically get comboed for most of our health. Oh wait, we got the boss, speaking of which. Okay, what boss did we get, chat? So this is a level 31 monster, which might be a little too hard for us. We'll see. Hopefully I don't game over and die here. Its weaknesses is fire. Alright, I'm gonna... Oh yeah, we're not doing a lot of damage. This is not a good sign. I stunned it, so I'm just gonna go for the combo.
Ready to die? Think you can dodge? Just try. Perfect mayhem.
I didn't see how much health it had. Oh, it has a lot of health. That's not good. I might need to run from this fight, chat. Doing okay for the moment, actually. Maybe I'll stick it out. I mean, it does a lot of damage. That's what I'm scared about. I guess if I use items, it won't be too bad. I'll have to respect it with item usage. Oh, no. Okay, now I think it's time to leave, chat. So we're out of here. Unfortunately, I think all our allies are dead, so I have to be very careful with how I leave. We're out of here, chat. No! No, no. Oh, we almost game overed. That was scary, chat. We almost game overed. Okay, so we don't have the right equipment to do this. So now the game is actually hard. I can't just abuse the dangerous encounters. Oh, we're gonna have to come back when we are much higher level. That's unfortunate, because I'm not lowering the game difficulty. If we put it down to normal, we'd probably win.
Everyone. Just act natural.
Oh, chat, here's the skit.
Your face is all stiff.
I know.
You, in the black coat. Show me your documentation. Well? Your travel permit from the Abbey? Where is it?
Foolish girl, how many times have I told you? A magician's apprentice must wear a pleasant grin.
Magician?
Verily, I present to you the traveling troupe of mischievous misfits known across the land as Magilou's Menagerie.
Entertainment for the ceremony?
Why, yes, indeed we are, my dear. Please pardon my uncouth apprentice. Girl, allay the good man's fears and show him the dove trick you've spent all these weeks on. Go to...
Huh? Oh, sorry, mistress. I forgot to prepare.
You pathetic little shirker! A proper performer is perpetually prepared!
It's fine. Doves flying around would be a nuisance.
No, this will not do. If you cannot summon a dove, then act like one. Act like a dove.
Coo.
Remember, Magilou's Menagerie manufactures mirth. That was just a small sample for the good citizenry of Logris.
Hey, you can't advertise here! Move along!
As you say.
There we go, chat.
That was a fine ploy, Magilou.
Well, don't expect tricks like that every day. Coo. Oh, that murderous gaze! Coo.
Those doves were amazing.
Just a crude trick. If anything, it just shows the capital's defenses are pathetic.
More like it shows how much confidence they have in those defenses. How many soldiers are here, Laphicet?
The number of exorcists in the capital? At least 1,000. And 2 divisions of guards.
I'd expect no less from the capital. They're not careless. They're covered.
We need transit documents.
See how the citizens smile? To think they were fleeing from demons just a few years ago.
To hold an observance of this scale shows just how much peace their power has brought.
A piece paid for with Laffy's.
Velvet?
My expedition has returned, chat.
All right.
So we unlocked a lot of skills due to our levels. That's all you really need to know. Unfortunately, those go towards getting more experience. We don't really need experience at this point. So we were basically fishing, I think, up to level 15. We have to get our ship up to level 15 to unlock a bonus area later in the game. We're already at 23, so we don't need to worry about that. So one thing I also realized is that we are very injured. So let's go ahead and prepare food with Laffy, who has an attack 15%, which is pretty solid. And just by preparing the food manually, I've now given myself full health. So I like that cooking is very, very strong in this game. Alright, so we're not allowed to leave until we're done with the capital event. So sorry, outside world, we're not with you anymore. Okay, chat, so if you didn't see it last time in the previous scene from last session, when we saw a guard that was wearing a red scarf. See how this one's wearing the red scarf and the others aren't? I just want to draw attention to it again. We could talk to the one in the red scarf. So he's saying, I see that you're performers, but that doesn't mean I'll let you stir up any trouble. Chat's going, coo. It is a pretty great scene, chat. I do love that scene. Uh-oh, get your scrumptious vegetables here, local and imported. Oh, chat, there's Eastgand and Westgand. Oh, look, now we have East, West, North, and Southgand. Oh, and we're currently in Midgand. So many Gans, chat. Let's see, what do you have to say?
Right now, Prince Percival is the one ruling Midgand. He's the crown prince.
The crown prince? What happened to the king?
The king is in good health, but he's decided to withdraw from public life and leave the kingdom to Prince Percival. He declared that a new way of thinking was needed to save the world from this crisis.
This king sounds like quite the guy.
Prince Percival is incredible too. He's following in the footsteps of the king by working hand in hand with Lord Artorias and the Abbey. As long as we have Lord Artorias and Prince Percival, the future of Midgand is bright. Ask anyone.
Got it. So all of Midgand is on Artorias' side.
Uh-oh, they're all on Artorias' side. So I think this is the first time we've heard a bit of rankings outside the Abbey. So we're hearing this name Prince Percival for the first time. He's apparently single, according to the Prince Admirer. And Lord Artorias is too. Shouldn't a man like Artorias have a special someone? And Velvet just replies, he did, but he threw it all away. Oh, the girl's thanking the exorcist for looking after her. So there seems like there's a friendly relationship between the Abbey and the citizens for the moment. Oh no. The boy wants to go see Majilu's menagerie for sure. Coo, chat. One of the head exorcists will give a speech at the ceremony. Alright, so he thinks this speech is about unity. And we don't know the cause of demons. And until we do, the battle will go on. So we'll keep that in mind, chat. Nobody knows the origin of how demon blight spreads. So this exorcist is talking to presumably a stage manager and a dancer. So he's saying the request to hold a stage performance for the purpose of public recreation has been accepted. These are dark times and the hearts of the people must be eased. However, disorderly conduct of any will be punished harshly. Is that clear? Stern instructor says perfectly. Thank you for the instructions. So we'll actually see these two later on, chat. I just want to draw attention to the characters with the unique models actually do show up in later side story stuff / skits. So I think that's really cool because like you don't even get to talk to her, for example, and later we'll be able to. So we're gonna get a feel for like the townspeople's personalities because as I said before, I think at the beginning of this entire playthrough, I really like how the citizens' opinions evolve over time, and it makes some of the story more impactful if you actually hear a little bit of their backstory before major events happen.
The Abbey's job is getting harder and harder. We've all got to give them our full support.
Let's backtrack a bit. Just what sort of organization is this Abbey?
You're kidding me. How do you not even know that?
The Abbey is part of Midgand's Church of the Empyreans. Originally, it was an order of paladins and warrior priests devoted to exorcising evil.
Yeah. The Abbey's official name is the Exorcist Abbey of the Church of Midgand. Nowadays, its members are all called exorcists.
I'm impressed. You've done your research.
So basically, they're just one branch of the church, right? For a side branch, they don't really strike me as humble.
Of course not. The High Priest entrusted all his power to the Abbey's leader, Lord Artorias. He's effectively retired.
So the Abbey's leader is at the top of the entire church.
That's not all. The Prince also gave Lord Artorias authority over all military and government affairs during the crisis.
Lord Artorias commands Midgand now, and has formed a new theocracy to combat the demon blight.
And that is the origin of the Holy Midgand Empire. The Abbey is its foundation, and its ray of hope.
Wow, okay, got it. The Abbey's a big deal.
If it weren't for Lord Artorias, the whole world would be naught but demons. He truly is the savior of the world. Well, chat, we now know that Lord Artorias sits at the top of everything. He's basically a stand-in king. He's the head of the church. We plan on killing him. I'm sure things will go a-okay, chat. I'm sure nothing bad will happen. So let's see. Young man says there are many stalls and performers gathered for the ceremony. Hasn't seen the much cheer in the city in ages. Man apparently prayed this day would come. Yeah, he's definitely kind of hoarding all the power, as Kirk is pointing out. We'll stay at an inn just because. Just for old tale's sake. I honestly don't think there's that many more skits with the inn until much later in the game. But I figured we'd just rest there, just to rest there. Okay, so now it seems even the children are kind of idolizing the knights slash guards slash... Actually, just the guards, I think. I was gonna say exorcists, but there's not really exorcists in armor. Oh, they're drilling for a parade. You can watch as long as you stay out of the way. Chat, look at this invisible wall. My god. This is one of the most intense invisible walls in the game. Like, really? Look at this, chat. I can't even walk between them. Like, come on. That's an intense wall. Let's see. Old woman says, ooh, such powerful physiques. How stirring. We owe much to the exorcists, but the common soldiers are also doing their part. The army has come far since their fall. Oh, chat, we're not allowed to go to the cathedral yet. What a shame. Let's talk to this soldier. This area is off limits in preparation for the ceremony. Fair enough. Part-time maid's wondering if the soldier who flirted with her will be taking part. Oh, that is a classic NPC trope. Always looking to get the attention. Oh, with a soldier, you never know what tomorrow may bring. Wow, that's kind of rude. Perk's enjoying the festivity music. I think it has decent music throughout the game. I think some of the ambiance themes are pretty strong. Like, this one's solid. I would say in terms of battle themes, this game's kind of on the weaker end with that, honestly speaking, but I think the music overall works. I don't think there's a song in there that makes me, like, want to cover my ears. Unlike certain Tales games that I've played. Bold Man says, a military parade during the ceremony, eh? And they say it's to ease the minds of the people. It looks more like a show of force to me. They're all but saying, bend to our power. We're like, huh. Maybe everyone serving the Abbey is a forthright pillar of society, but I highly doubt it. So this is also an interesting building that we can't go into. It has a sign. I think that is supposed to be grapes, because this is a bar. I remember last time I wasn't sure what that was supposed to be. I don't usually see grapes with only 3 bunches. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be, like, grapes for 1. Well, we might as well just go see what they have to say about the fountain.
When's the prince gonna talk? The exorcists are coming too, right?
I'm sure they will, dear. People are saying it's going to be a very important announcement about the Abbey.
I want to see the exorcists! We need to thank them for saving us from the demons!
You're right. We all have to show them our gratitude and help them however we can.
Yeah! I'll follow the rules, too. I won't be selfish.
They sure are popular.
Because these people don't know the truth.
You think that's so? That the exorcists are fighting the demons they themselves cannot. That's why the people support the exorcists.
Affectionate Girl says, selfishness is sin. The world is a hard place. You mustn't spoil me, mother, alright? Girl's mother is encouraging her to listen to the exorcist. That is what will keep you safe after all. We'll see how true that holds up over the rest of the game, chat. The boy says, the city is jam-packed for the ceremony. I imagine all the good places are already taken. Youth says, seriously? Aw, I knew I should have camped out on a spot all night. Well, let's make sure we grab this herb for later, chat. Speaking of which, we're gonna need a lot of status upgrades to our real protagonist. Let's see, we can talk to these people because we haven't chatted with them yet. Silver Merchant says, I understand. Our guild will loan you whatever we can. Priest says, we are grateful. Above all things, we need a place to properly worship the Empyrean. Silver Merchant says, most certainly, but what would you say to an addition to the shrine within the cathedral? Begone! The Praetor is observing the exercises. Or is it the Praetor you have business with, perhaps? Well, we don't really want to interact with the Praetors. Oh, we have 3 uniquely dressed characters, but we can't talk to any of them yet. We'll also note that there's some merchants over here. Again, I think it's kind of neat that you could kind of see people standing around town, and we'll get little comments about them later, or they'll tell us more about the lore of the world as we go through. I just want to make sure we talk to a very specific character. Just double checking one thing, chat. Oh, I guess we can't talk to this character yet. Okay. I'm thinking of a future moment. I see Kirk saying the when I mentioned earlier easing their minds. It's ease their minds, yeah. The puns, chat, they never end. So I think at this point what I want to do is we were in a lot of combat, so that should have reset the merchant. Let's go ahead and come inside to the merchant here. The dealer's name is Wilder. Oh, wait. I think that's a Symphonia protagonist last name, and I'll leave it at that because I know somebody in the chat has not seen Symphonia. I had to think about that one. It really does test your Tales knowledge, chat. Oh, hey, new weapons. Excellent. Oh, excellent. Oh, this is so good for us, chat. We got a ton of things that will help us with the outdoors. We basically just need damage. Like, we don't so much need defense as much as we need to be able to just instantly destroy whatever it is we're fighting. So we're gonna go ahead and buy every item. Chris in the chat, thanks to you for not spoiling names. I'm like, yeah, I had to do that because there was another name spoiler from the other item where where if I said the character's full name, you'd be like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna mention it. So hey, Lofty Scent now does more damage, at least. But we should probably improve our daggers. We're getting low on calcite. I might have to sacrifice some to the gods. We'll give ourselves a good fluorite blade, though. I like that gold is normally the thing that's really hard to get a hold of, but I have so much from the previous playthrough that it's the most common. Oh, game. Oh, the earth rings count. Again, I'll have to get rid of some of these later. Also, I should level up whatever Eisen's using to reduce the stun duration so he doesn't just instantly die. I just kind of appreciate that being a thing. So we'll give him another upgrade to further reduce his stun duration, because that's mostly what's getting him killed right now, is he kind of gets bopped in the face once, and then he just never gets a turn again because he's dead. Hopefully he'll eventually get to the Floric Pendant, because that would also grant him some armor, which is one of his worst stats. And that'll also help him survive. I just want to double check that I'm not mastered any skills that I can replace. Oh, we now have the Amber Bag. Let's go ahead and equip that on Laphicet. Yeah, so we're gonna get less art power, but I think this is okay. We'll lose a little bit to get some more armor. And by some more armor, I mean 12 plus the 10 in the random skills, which is pretty solid. Because at this point, Laphicet just needs to survive versus needs to do damage. He's already got pretty decent damage. Alright, so we're going to be on the lookout for chests. So I haven't seen any yet, because I would like to get new items. Got the calcite garment. Okay, we could sell that for different materials. Let's climb this ladder. This is a very suspicious ladder, chat. I like that the music gets quieter when you climb up. I think that's kind of a neat touch. Wow, chat, this one costs 95 cat spirits. Remember when it only cost 15, chat? Goodbye, cat spirits. We acquired the top hat. So that did not count towards our chest total. I'm trying to recall where the last chest is. Because at this point in the game, we can actually get upgrades from the chests. If it's a silver chest. It's not a big deal if I can't find it right away. We'll come to it eventually. Soldier says, the ceremony will soon begin at the castle plaza. Listen attentively and behave in an orderly manner. Well, chat, we're just going to continue for now. Let's go up the stairs. I'm sure everything will be fine. Now, one thing I want to draw your attention to, chat, is when you see the people standing near the speech giver.
Listen to those cheers.
We'll actually see a lot of them as we go through the game. You'll recognize a couple faces.
May I have your attention? It is I, Percival Asgard, Crown Prince of the Midgard Empire. His Majesty, my father, and I are pleased to celebrate with you on this auspicious day.
The ceremony started.
It will be impossible to slip in now.
After the opening 10 years ago, our kingdom faced an existential threat, both from demons and the terrible spread of demon blight. However, one man raised a miraculous sword and stood so that the body and soul of the land would not be
You can
lost.
climb up if you want, but attacking now
And
would be
the name
suicide.
of that man was Artorius Coldbrand. None here, I trust, are unfamiliar with Artorius' noble act. To bring us salvation from demons, he sacrificed everything.
But he's a murderer.
He called Lord Inominat, one of the 5 Empyreans, and blessed us with the strength of the Malachim.
But he's a murderer!
He serves as a shining beacon of reason in this world of turmoil. And reason is what binds us.
But you killed him! You took everything that I loved!
So raise your voices in praise to Artorius' devoted work, to the Savior who purifies evil and guides our flock.
Let us call him our shepherd!
Shepherd Artorias! Shepherd Artorias! Shepherd Artorias!
Artorias!
Shepherd Artorias! Shepherd Artorias!
Even though the world was filled with suffering, I had to ask something tremendous of you all. I entrusted you to endure the pains of reason. I asked you to bind yourselves with shackles of your own will. For the only blade that can expel calamity is one forged from unshaking reason and the iron will to do what must be done. And now that very blade stands ready, before all of us today. I offer my body and my life, in service to the people of this great land. With the blessings of the Empyrean Innominat, I will guide you to a world without calamity. And this world's suffering will be nothing but a distant memory!
But you're the one who murdered.
Fool, they'll see us.
You're the one who killed Laphicet.
What?
The Shepherd Artorias. That's who you're after?
Oh, and here I was hoping you'd just straight up pounce on him.
That would be certain death. No. I need a sword of reason and will. That's the only thing that can kill him.
Killing Lord Artorias.
Playing it safe? Boring! Regrettably, it is at this juncture we go our separate ways. I've got a bit of hunting to do.
No one's stopping you.
Goodbye.
Farewell! May your days be fruitful and your nights tormented!
If our enemy's calling himself a shepherd, he won't be going into hiding. Let's take this slowly.
The old man behind him. Melchior, I take it?
Yeah.
Let's gather information on these people. If we know what they're planning, we can find a weakness.
They're the most powerful men in the land. If we're going to look into them, we need a lead first.
Eisen, do you have any underworld contacts in the capital itself? Like your friend at the port?
I don't go inland much, I'm afraid. But Eifried has close ties to a shadow guild. A tavern in the city, run by an old man called Baskerville, serves as a front for them.
A shadow guild? Those sorts of things actually exist?
That settles it. Let's head to that tavern. They'll have food, I'm sure.
Why not?
There we go. We're back in control, chat. So we did not just immediately...
Made a weird noise.
That's another sign that you're alive.
We did not immediately attack Lord Artorias, or as he's been called now, Shepherd Artorias. Let's see what the skit has to say before we continue.
The exorcists sure were out in full force to see the shepherd's inauguration, weren't they?
What about that guy you're after? Was he there?
What, and have to stand around looking all proper? Nah, that's not his style.
Then I thought he was one of the top exorcists.
That wouldn't matter to him.
Huh. All right.
Actually, Velvet, speaking of the shepherd, I noticed he wasn't using his right arm. Was he hurt or something?
Yeah. He was badly wounded a long time ago. He lost the use of his sword arm.
That's what I figured.
But don't get the wrong idea. He's still a master swordsman with his left arm.
I can tell that from the way he moves. His movements are steady and measured, and his chi is centered below his navel.
Huh? Why does that matter?
Some people say that all the body's spiritual energy gathers in a place about 2 finger widths below the navel.
Even when he appears to be in a state of total peace, his guard is never down. He's a formidable adversary. And I think I know why my target has placed himself at Artorias' side. Because now I want to take Artorias down too.
Well, Rokro seems on board with taking down Artorias, so I guess that's not too bad. So we saw some guy in a very goofy hat, and if you didn't see it, we'll get to see more of that goofy hat in the future, but it seems like that goofy hat wearer is noted to be Melchior, or at least we're assuming that's who it is. So it seems like the aristocrats are not happy with Lord Artorias. So we finally found a group of people that don't seem to like Lord Artorias. So we'll keep that in mind, chat. So Velva's just recognizing that not everybody's of a single mind. His hat is very ludicrous. I don't know why it's so big. I don't know how he gets through doorways. I guess we'll see he uses a bit of magic later. Maybe he just magics through every doorway. Otherwise, it just seems like an inconvenience. Okay, let's see if these... Oh, okay, there we go. Let's talk to this exorcist. Oh no, they just learned that Vortigern fell. Oh, that's unfortunate for them, chat. Wow, what a wonderful ceremony that was. Today is sure to ring throughout history. Oh, it will. Nihilistic Youth says, a sword of will and reason. Sure, it'll work against the demons, but also turn on anyone who upsets their order. You could count on that. So we have some of the people agreeing with us there. So now they're saying order and reason is the polar opposite of demons. It's something only humans are capable of. So it seems to have mostly gone over well. And now after the speech, this guy wants to become a soldier and devote his life to the people. So it seems like he definitely bought into the speech. Shepherd Artorias, I've never seen the like. I've never prayed with real conviction in my life, but if he believes, I want to believe too. Okay, so now they're mentioning the cathedral is open. So Chad, I want to bring another detail to your attention. So if you noticed in the Prince Percival's speech, we now got confirmation that there are indeed 5 Empyreans, but they only seem to be worshipping 1 Empyrean at the moment. So that's a little curious. We'll just kind of note that that detail doesn't quite line up with what we've seen elsewhere.
Shepherd, savior of mankind who guides us through the darkness. What an appropriate title for Lord Artorias. I believe in him. As long as we have Shepherd Artorias, we'll make it through this era of disaster.
Shepherd Artorias?
How pompous can you get?
Artorias has already seized control of all religious and secular power in Midgand. But now that he's taken on this new title, he's no longer just an authority figure. He's become the very hope of the masses.
A dangerous opponent indeed.
After seeing that, will you still fight him?
Of course I will. He could be a god for all I care. I'll have my vengeance, no matter what.
Even if he's a god, we're still gonna take him down. The Shepherd is building a great temple to the Empyrean to the north along Danan Highway. That's interesting. I wonder if we've seen a giant temple before in a different game, chat. So let's see. Exorcist Praetor says, I, like most of the other exorcists, was an ordinary, powerless human until 3 years ago. In fact, I was less than ordinary, frightened of visions and imagined voices, but after the Advent, I found I had the power of resonance. So after learning from Artorias that such power could save the world, I joined the Abbey. So they did mention that people are able to see, like, actually see demons, and they're able to see the Malachim, which, if we recall from Zesteria, most people were not able to do so. Oh no, lovesick woman. She feels so optimistic about the future. Little does she know, chat. Little does she know. Oh, lovesick woman, you love that musician. So I guess she moved on from wondering if he'll notice her to just watching him. Midgand is a great nation that overthrew chaos and united all the land for a century of peace. I believe the legacy was destroyed by the demon blade, but the shepherd's strength has revived it. We will all work to restore the peace and honor this land we once knew. Seems like everybody's being stirred by this speech. So they feel inspired, they're thinking about their own selfishness, and they want to refine themselves. Ooh, we got an expedition chat. We got another pirate flag, so that's more money for us. The Great Cathedral's up ahead. To think I once thought it was such a large and wasteful building, how sinful I was. Oh, let's go visit the cathedral, chat. Hello, part-time maid. Oh, she didn't get to see the speech. That's a shame. When there's that many customers, she can't possibly turn them away. See another person with the red scarf. We've seen quite a few, actually, throughout the game at this point. So I'm just gonna keep drawing attention to it, chat.
Lord Artorias' speech was so wonderful. I teared up halfway through.
I was so worried when the demons appeared. I am so glad I put my faith in the Abbey.
The exorcists put their lives on the line to protect us. We've got to do what we can to help.
I want to marry the shepherd when I grow up.
Now that's popularity.
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss, chat. Let's see what these two have to say. They say the Empire and Lord Artorias requested our aid in an honest and straightforward way. If we ignore that plea, we wouldn't even be worth saving. So everybody's kind of forcing themselves to go along with Lord Artorias, even if they're not entirely convinced. Oh, welcome to the Cathedral of the Church of Midgand. The honorable head of our organization has withdrawn from his duties. Services are now performed by the High Priest. Please stay and offer your prayers to the Empyrean. We keep getting a singular, chat. That's a little odd, wouldn't you think? Hello, young aristocrat. I heard that one of the Dragonius joined the Abbey. Is that true? Oh, they're talking about Oscar. Serves as one of our praetors and an exemplary one at that. Wow. Apparently he's being called a useless leech of a younger son. Wow, that's pretty harsh. So now Velvet's realizing the person she injured was a nobleman. I believe the family name Dragonius was one of the founders of the castle city, whose name I forget from Zestiria offhand. My mind is already trying to wipe the memory of Zestiria. I can remember things for Tales of Destiny 1 that I haven't played in many years, but it's like Zestiria, like mine was like, no. Take a hard pass. It's not worth it. Okay, old woman says, "Oh, come now. It's high time we let our grandchildren take over and you're stubborn as a mule." Came here to pray for all creation, not to make selfish demands of others. Pendrago, thank you. Hello, High Priest. Not all the clergy is pleased with the privileges granted to Lord Artorias and the Abbey. The fact that your activities are not hindered by this is due to the graciousness of High Priest Gideon. It would serve you well to remember that. Of course, Lord Artorias and the rest of us are eternally grateful for all the High Priest does. Okay, chat. We get to hear the Abbey theme. 1 second, chat. I want to play the best skit in the game, but I just want to check something first. Okay, chat. Sorry about that, I'm back. Oh my gosh. I love that there is a reoccurring skit in this game, and I'm hyping it up a little bit, but I'm letting you know I love the skit to death. Let's go talk to the priest. Let's see what happens.
Come, sinner,
and repent your wicked deeds.
Repent? Are you talking to me?
Yes. When I look at your vestments around your chest, your hips, I can tell your sins are many and deep.
Say that again. Exactly what were you staring at?
Well, mankind is rife with sin, and I am no different. You must acknowledge your misdeeds and confess them to the great Empyreans. By confronting your sinful urges, you will be empowered to resist them.
Is that so? You're saying I just need to confess all the bad things I've done?
Yes. Confess your darkest sins, my child, assured that none is beyond the forgiveness of the Empyreans.
Empyreans, hear my confession. When I was in prison, I instigated a riot and used it to break myself out.
Huh?
Then I set fire to some warehouses in town and stole a ship to make my getaway. Then I teamed up with some pirates to destroy a military fortress. I killed anyone who got in my way.
What?
What do you think, Father? Will the Empyreans forgive me?
I think you should turn yourself into the Abbey and let them help you repent.
That's convenient. I'm already planning on going to the Abbey. You see, I'm going to kill their boss, Artorias.
I need an exorcist over here! Quick! Somebody! Anybody!
That's about how I figured it'd go.
Oh no, poor priest. Cry for the exorcists. Oh my gosh. Velvet's confession is one of my favorite parts of the game. It still makes me laugh. I've seen it quite a few times, but there's something about the delivery of it all that I think gets me. Oh my gosh. I just love how twisted it is. She basically summarizes everything which is true of what we did to this point in the game, and she's very cognizant of it. And I love her little quip of, oh, I was planning to see the Abbey too. Oh my gosh, chat. That really is the best skit in the game. Oh my gosh, let's see. The Grand High Priest is the head of the church and several High Priests serve under him, but the Grand High Priest retired after transferring his authority to Lord Artorias of the Abbey. That means he runs the church while the High Priests are in charge of church services. Always thought the Abbey was a branch of the church, but I guess that's not the case. Okay. A little conversation back and forth there. Hello, little girl. Praying is so boring, I want to go home. He's kind of in mid-prayer. Oops. My bad. Let's start again from the beginning. Exalted Empyrean, please grant me salvation. Please save my family and watch over our land. If you grant us salvation, I vow to donate 10,000 gold each month to your causes. The priest says, I'm sure the great Empyrean will answer your prayers. As for donations, speak to me later. Chad, I think this design looks a little familiar from Zesteria.
That is one impressive cathedral. It fits the capital.
Yes. It's incredible.
It's as I heard. It wasn't built using Moloch arts, but the latest architectural engineering techniques. Look at those arches, the mathematical logic, the structural ornamentation. This is an architectural marvel.
So, is that Empyrean in there?
I highly doubt it. Empyrean worship has become mostly symbolic over the years. This cathedral wasn't built as a place of worship. It's commemorative, to celebrate the continent's unification.
In other words, a show of power.
That explains why they spared no expense.
It's too early to be impressed. This is just the entrance, and it's unfinished. They're constructing a colossal temple inside here. They say it'll take centuries to complete.
Centuries? That's insane. How could they think that's a good idea?
Your guess is as good as mine. I suppose that sometimes humans just have a need to push their limits.
Yeah, seriously.
The Reaper and a Demon are shaking their heads at this overwrought monstrosity. Intrinsic worth, 0.
I wonder what it'll look like when it's finished.
So I believe this is implying that this is the same building we went to in Zesteria, where we investigated the Cardinal in like the most sarcastic air quotes I could basically say. Yeah, centuries to complete. Mm-hmm. So I think that's about it for this area, so we'll continue forward for now. We're getting back into the celebratory music. Let's see, what else could we do? Talk to all the people here. We should probably check the inn to make sure there's no new skits. And there is a skit.
It's a history book titled The Rise and Fall of Midgand. About 800 years ago, our continent was conquered by a military force from another continent. Few records exist of the following 500 years. A period known as the Era of Darkness, or the Dark Period. Then 300 years ago, a great hero named Claudin Asgard reunited the kingdom, bringing an end to the Dark Period.
Claudin, huh? Where have I heard that name before?
All right, that's enough for today.
Thanks for teaching me, Arthur. Your techniques are so amazing. Where did you learn them?
They came from my own master, a man named Claudin. He developed them himself.
Wow, they're so graceful. I wish I could move like that.
I've taught you the forms, but for some reason your execution deviates from the ideal.
Well, my body just kinda moves on its own.
You're a handful, Velvet. But I will say you do resemble Claudin some. He was a strange person himself. He always wore this peculiar cape, for instance.
Cape, you say?
Deep down, Claudin was strong like fire, vivacious like water, steadfast like earth, and free like wind. I can't help but admire him to this day.
Wow, I'd love to meet him.
Sadly, that's impossible.
Is he dead?
Yes, he is. He died to protect me. That's why
No way. The events recounted in this book happened 300 years ago. It can't be the same Claudin.
Velvet, are you okay?
I'm fine. Don't mind me.
King Claudin was quite strong, wasn't he?
He was more than just that. He's the most well-loved and trusted king in our history. Or so the book claims.
To this day, all of Midgand's rulers claim to be direct descendants of King Claudin Asgard. Knowing that, there might be meaning behind them bestowing Artorias with the grandiose title of Shepherd. I could see it as an attempt to recreate the same glory enjoyed by the Hero King who ended the Dark Period.
If that's true, it's a childish ploy. The world's not so easily changed.
I wouldn't be so sure. What matters is that the title inspires hope in the people, who in turn give him their support. Then, as their shepherd, he can guide his flock in any direction he pleases.
If Artorias knowingly accepted that title, we can be sure he's fully committed to his cause.
Oh, he's certainly committed. I've seen just how far he's willing to go.
Well, chat is now theorizing one of two things, or I guess I'm adding an additional theory to the list. So, we're wondering, how old is Artorias? How true is that book? And also, how old was Claudin? Is it a man that happens to have a same name? Is it the same guy? The game will actually address this a bit later on, but we can have the theory crafting in the chat in the meantime. Hello, Delinquent Youth. He says, everyone kisses Artorias' boots and lets him do whatever he wants, but I don't trust him. What kind of man says he'll save the whole world and expects nothing in return? The other guy's friend says, I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that. Fair enough. So we're gonna go backtrack through town before I progress the plot. We can see there's all sorts of new skits as well as dialogues to look into. Exorcist is saying that the Abbey has come so far in 3 years is no accident. Lord Artorias and Lord Melchior have been quietly gathering like-minded souls for a decade now. So they've been planning this for 10 years, chat. We'll keep that in mind. So it seems like Melchior and Artorias knew each other for at least 10 years. Forming is a battle against yourself. Success depends on whether or not you win. As long as you have a skill that you could capture the audience's enthusiasm, you're set. So they're still gearing up for some kind of dance. We'll go ahead and take that life bottle. Technically, we can leave town now. I don't really want to do so. Actually, I'm sorry. I do want to do so, but only to show that we can't go somewhere, and then I'll come back. Richard says, I don't know about you, but Malakim give me the creeps. They're alive, right? Will they go crazy like demons? Exorcist repeats the idea that Malakim are tools given to us by the Empyrean. They have power to rival demons, but you needn't fear them. Merchant is still creeped out by them. So we're gonna return to the town in a little bit, chat. I just want to show one thing. So we cannot really progress in either direction at the moment, to my knowledge. So if we try going to the right, which will eventually lead to the next area, we will see that we're not able to do so. So for now, we could go into this little path here. But if we try to go through here, we could see it's blocked off. What reason do they give that we're not allowed to go over here? Okay, so we need a permit to get through. Apparently there's a ban on travel, so we're not allowed to leave that way. Soldiers saying that there's been great storms and shifts on Earth in the Aldina Plains, so you're not allowed to go out there. Ooh, that's an interesting creed. The many cannot waste resources on the few. Trust in the wisdom of the Abbey. The Abbey's definitely okay with making some sacrifices. So we'll keep that in mind. So we need a permit in order to continue out that way. And since we're coming over this way, I might as well as get the chest. Should be one over here. Yeah. We'll get more cat souls, chat. Never enough cat souls. I'll fight the snake. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Oh, we're doing a lot more damage, chat. Wait a minute. That weapon upgrade really made a difference. I think because we empowered our Break Soul power due to leveling up our weapon, it's actually making a really big difference right now.
Think you can dodge? Just try. Perfect mayhem.
Beating up a snake with your fists, as you do.
No escape.
We're finished here. Let's go.
Oh, we got some extra bonuses, and we got an Aphrodite sash, which is also kind of nice. So we're going to go ahead and swap over to the Fire Ring, which will grant us even more defense, which is good, because Aizen definitely needs more defense. Unfortunately, it tanks his attack power. I don't really use him for magic, so it's fine. We'll get over the 20 loss. The Gallus Lake Road is up ahead. It's a dangerous place. Right now, there are exorcists out there searching for a caravan that went missing. So we're actually not able to investigate that area either. So we'll go ahead and clear up these wolves. See, we're getting to the point where basically one you're wide open does half their health, which is great, because you could kind of chain them together, get like one punch, and then nuke them. Like, look at this, chat. This is why I like Aizen for normal gameplay, because you could just kind of do this and end them.
Just try. Perfect mayhem. No escape. Let's go. No escape. You're wide open.
So unfair, chat.
I won't improve by fighting weaklings.
It's beautiful, though. We're getting more melons, which will help for different recipes. It's fine. We don't have to remember what those skills do. They'll just give us generally more experience. Okay, so I think that's all I wanted to show off before we continue the plot. So we can't really leave this area. We're kind of gated here until we accept another quest. So let's head back to town for now. I don't think I want a dangerous encounter with our current gear. We'll do one more fight. Ooh, I'm getting tapped randomly. That's not good. So I like that the enemies are actually fairly aggressive in this game. So because we are under-geared and on Chaos mode, the game's actually a decent difficulty. It's not, like, totally unfair. If I'm not paying attention, I will die. So I do have to actively try to do unfair things.
Your style
That feels kind of good. Let's see, we got another ring mastered, and now we could switch it over to hopefully the aqua ring. Not too bad. Okay, so for now we're just gonna return to town. No, we haven't saved in a while, chat. Let's save again.
He may be the shepherd now, but no one knows who he was before the Advent, or what he did.
No, they don't.
But he showed up one day with a mallet in tow, routed the demons, and formed a band of skilled young exorcists.
That sounds pretty suspicious.
Right? But the kingdom readily acknowledged his abilities and his conviction, and threw its full support behind him.
Maybe he plans on usurping power for himself.
Not likely. He's worked tirelessly to rebuild the church and state, and shore up the royal family's position.
Lining his pockets from the state coffers, then.
Not the slightest chance. Rather, he's got all the other higher-ups worried he's working himself to death.
Then what's he after?
Maybe there is no ulterior motive. Maybe he is our shepherd. Whatever the case, if he hadn't shown up when he did 3 years ago, Midgand would be a smoking ruin.
Man, wondering if Artorias is really the savior of the world. Feels there's some kind of ulterior motive, but he can't quite put his finger on it. So chat, we have to kind of come to grips with we're killing the world savior. Or at least we're intending to in this game. How does the chat feel about that? I'm gonna make sure I didn't miss any dialogue up here. Okay, yeah, that's right. We talked to Youth and his friend. Oh, hello, merchant. I didn't talk to you last time. Peddler says, I'll tell everyone I met on my travels about the shepherd's speech. I feel it is my duty to do so, and I'm sure everyone who hears it will be grateful too. Well, we can finally pass through the intense invisible wall, so that's a good sign. Speaking of which, we should have updated the shop, because we did get into a couple of fights. Hey, a new item that we haven't received before. Sure, we'll go ahead and purchase these. We have nothing better to do with our cash, chat. Oh, I don't want to spend it on bottles though. Chat saying at least we're intentionally doing it. We won't pull a Saray by investigating somebody and accidentally killing them. It's very true. So we have 2 figures in the bar. I'm just curious if we could go into this room yet or not. Oh, we are allowed to go up here. There's nothing in here. Well, we'll take the tarnished silver coin. We'll start by talking to the woman because she's not related to the plot. Or at least she's not the trigger for the plot. Hello, mysterious woman. Oh no. Woman in black. She goes, oh, not a lot of folks come in here with children. We're a tavern, but we've got some good food. I can't really read the sign. It looks like I can only really make out the word good at the bottom of that. Oops. Let's wrap around here and talk to the barkeep.
What'll it be?
Some food for the boy.
Mabo curry is our specialty. It takes a week to stew properly.
Mabo curry.
Some of that, then. Say, do you know a man named Baskerville? I heard we might find him here.
That old man? A scoundrel and criminal who went against the rules of the Abbey. They executed him long ago.
Oh.
Velvet, this Mabo curry is amazing.
You get along so well. Is he your brother?
No.
No, he wouldn't be, would he? After all, your brother was murdered before your eyes.
How do you know that?
The shadows watch those who flinch from the light.
So the guild is still active, even after Baskerville's arrest?
That's right. Just like how Ifrid's crew continues their piracy, even without their captain.
So you're the contact?
What may I help you with?
I want to know what Artorias is planning.
Information such as that, it won't come cheap. I have here a list of jobs, not one remotely legal. Take care of all of them, and I'll tell you what you want to know.
Now we have to kind of choose one by one. I'm going to say from a time perspective, I'm not going to do them quite in the same order. But I think what I want to do is... I think I'm going to do 1, 3, and then 2, because 2 will take a while, and we'll see how we are on time by the time we get to it. So we're going to choose to destroy goods first. We have to do all 3, so it's not like we'll miss out, chat. So now we're being told, I want you to destroy goods and red crates parked in a warehouse at Port Zexin. Sure, we'll take that on.
Take this with you as documentation. It's fake, but it's a good fake. It'll hold up to inspection.
It's registered to Mogulu's menagerie?
Oh? Was that not the name you gave to the guard at the gate?
I can see you're a group to be reckoned with.
Report back here once you're finished. However, be aware that should you fail...
Then this conversation never took place. Got it. I'll cause you no trouble.
I appreciate your understanding. You're welcome to stay the night, free of charge. Forget about work until the morning comes. Right. You're missing Captain Ifrid. The captain has done much toward our viability. I promise that I'll share anything I hear about him for no charge.
Thanks. All we know is there was a pendulum on the ground at the last place he was seen. And that Legate Melchior is connected to the captain's disappearance. How? We don't know.
Sounds like you've got problems of your own. Do you really have time to take on ours as well?
I could ask you why you've tied yourself up with Velvet.
Me? I've got a debt to repay. Without her, there's no way I'd have ever found my blade again.
A demon repaying a debt? Ridiculous.
As ridiculous as a pirate Moloch, you think? No matter how you look at it, there's nothing reasonable about our rogue existence. And in this brave new world governed by reason, a rogue can either rage and become a monster like me,
or band together with others. Like a ship full of pirates, perhaps.
Exactly. I admire Velvet's courage, squaring off against the whole world on her own. Few can accomplish that. It takes strength, real strength, and I'm curious where it comes from.
So you're doing it for yourself after all?
Is that so wrong?
No. I'm the same. I need allies on my side, with the strength and courage to combat this so-called order imposed by the Abbey. But anyone who's willing to put up with the creed folly of Ifrit's pirates has to be an even bigger fool than we are. So I'm like you. I want to know how deep her foolishness goes.
She'd kill you if she heard that, you know.
It's a compliment. Fools that big aren't born every day.
Aha. And I imagine your dear Captain Ifrit's much the same.
Aye. That man flies his full flag proudly.
A little bit of bonding between two of the protagonists.
Artorius, He's got the populace eating from the palm of his hand. I wonder... Just how deeply will the fangs of our would-be tragic heroine scar this broken world of ours? I've got a traitor to find, but in the meantime, this should be a good show.
We gained a new recipe, Mabo curry, chat. See, what would that be considered under? There's Mabo curry.
I think it turned out all right, but did it?
How unsure he sounds when he made it.
Food's ready. It's nothing special.
So one thing to kind of help through some of the higher difficulty, I just want to briefly mention some of the skills that they have. I think Velvet's overall is probably the best generic set. Like, you can either give yourself more health because you're trying to survive things like Mystic Arts later in the game. You reduce stun duration, which is excellent at this point in the game. Or if we are completely undergeared, we can reduce damage that goes over 1,000 by 40%. Which is very silly. And will help us get through a lot of nasty fights. But for now, we just have attack up, since we're attacking with it.
A kind face for such a hard woman.
She knew about me and our cover. She's got ears everywhere.
And that's not all. She called the papers fake, but they're not.
So she's got spies working on the inside, too.
I heard that her predecessor, Baskerville, was a monument against authority. But to think he was executed.
They've lost their leader, but remain unconquered. Not an organization to trifle with.
That's how they have to be to take on the Abbey. We'd better succeed on our missions, and not just to get the information we need.
Yeah. Besides, I'd like to get another of those drinks, too.
You're a man of taste. That place always has the best.
You'd better work hard, too, if you want more Mabo curry.
I will.
Game loves Mabo curry, chat. It'll become abundantly clear as we go forward. You know what? We have a mini game. We might as well show it off now. Dealing with customers here is harder than any job the Bloodwings will throw at you. Care to see? Sure, we could play. You want some fruitcake? Okay, we could do that, chat. Look how fast we move. Oh, feisty dancer wants some Mabo curry. This guy wants fruitcake again. Okay, sure. Easy clear, chat. Might as well continue. So far, just 2 customers. Pretty straightforward. I can hold up to 2 dishes at once. Now, you might be wondering why I'm doing this minigame, and most of the time the answer is we don't really need to do it. But if we want to unlock the outfit that Laphicet is wearing, we do actually have to play the minigame. Let's run around at high speeds. I'm fairly quick at menuing, so at the moment they're not really overlapping any of their orders. So we got 3 more to go, and I'm allowed to botch it, I think, twice without any issue. That's what those little icons are along the left. There we go. Now we held 2 dishes at once. And we've cleared it. You're so earnest and innocent it hurts. Keep this up and I think you'll find yourself with your very own fan club. Put this uniform on and keep at it. So normally she would give us the uniform parts there if you're wondering why we got Tails coins instead. So we did it, I think, in a previous playthrough. But now I think we can officially go... Oh god, I have all the other... I have all the other hats, chat. I think it's... this one. We unlocked the serving clothes. We might as well just put Laphicet in it for a bit. Speaking of which, I technically unlocked the swimwear by... We'll briefly do the swimwear just to show it off. So I unlocked the swimwear by just doing the expeditions. So I figured I'd dress us up for a little bit. We'll just wear very inappropriate clothes for a short time just to show it off. So let's see. This is the Bloodwing Butterflies bar. That is a lot of bees. Tavern Keeper says he runs a tavern for a living. It's hard enough providing a pleasant place for people to drink. The Abbey doesn't care for this sort of establishment. Putting pressure on him. It seems like they want to close down these different places. So chat, I'm sure you're noticing a theme with some of their colors. So this guy has red around his neck. That guy has red around his neck. This guy has red around his arm. And the woman next to him has red around her neck as well. Hello, customer. It's a place... This is what a tavern should be. A man needs a place like this in his life. Red Cage should be in the furthest storehouse in Port Sexton. I think there might be an additional skit that could spawn in a moment, so I'm just gonna walk around town first.
Destroying red crates in a warehouse? Doesn't sound very nice.
Have we ever been nice?
I suppose not.
This is a contract job, so let's keep costs down. I'll call the Von Eltia and have her draw the guards away.
If you would.
What will we be destroying?
Who knows? That's hardly our concern.
So we're just doing as we're told at the moment. Hey, there's another sub-skit. That's what I was looking for. So I could have just basically teleported away, but we should go talk to these people again. Alright, so the game is just saying, please use weapon enhancement, please. Which I guess is fair. Oh. Lovesick woman is still watching the musician.
That ceremony was simply fantastic. Lord Artorias' speech was brilliant, of course, but Prince Percival was really something too. He raises up Artorias to help the country and its people, then willingly steps down. Now that's what I call a king.
You think so? Well, to me, he just looks like a wimp.
He may look that way, but he has a great inner strength. He's excelled as a scholar and a leader since he was young. His only hobby is falconry, but sadly I hear he hasn't had the time for it lately.
You seem like a big supporter of his.
Well, he's got 2 younger brothers, but just between you and me, they're dolts. Worse, they hang with a bad crowd. If anything were to happen to Prince Percival, the future of Midgand would be bleak.
I see. So everyone's hopes are riding on him then.
Which means Midgand's vulnerable without him.
If anything happens to Prince Percival, Midgand's future will be bleak. Those are words for to keep in mind for the future. Let's see. The poor man says the king has entrusted Lord Artorias with the royal villa. Royal family's faith has united the entire land. So they're just talking about the horrors of the opening. So one other thing we learned about Lord Percival is apparently he's into falconry. So we'll kind of keep that in the back of our mind. Our time mate says she prefers the performance here to the music on the other side of the plaza. There seems to be a lot of love of musicians. Oh, new conversation. Ooh, can you name all the Empyreans? So granddaughter is now giving names yet again to the Empyreans. I think we heard it once before in Helavis, I believe. But we're now getting the full names of them. So we have Musaf of Flame, Amanosh of Water, Iona of Wind, and Eumacia of Earth. And the last is a Nominat. So interestingly, there's one Empyrean for each element, but a Nominat is not associated with an element. Soldier says the cathedral and the palace are breathtaking. I never get tired of seeing them while on patrol. I hope they stand for 1,000 years to come. Get it? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Zesteria. Right, chat? See what they did there. Let's see. Lord of the Void and all creation, eternity and aether, Empyrean and Nominat, please hear my humble prayer. Forgive them of their sins, relieve them of their suffering, bring tranquility to their souls.
Praise be Shepherd Artorias. Thanks to him, people have started worshipping the Empyreans again. Now our salvation is at hand.
The Empyreans. They're the gods that created the world?
Yeah. The 4 Empyreans each rule one of the 4 elements: earth, water, fire, and wind. I read in a book that Empyrean worship is the oldest form of human religion.
The Midgand Church also worshipped the Empyreans. But because we've had peace and prosperity for so long, true belief in them has slowly faded.
So now that people are frightened of the demon blight, they're clinging to their once-forgotten gods. Wait a minute. Maybe Artorias is using religion to manipulate the people into following him.
Oh, great Empyreans! Please grant Shepherd Artorias the strength to save your humble servants.
If that's the case, he's done a damn fine job of it.
Using religion to manipulate the people. You see that faith is kind of waning, it seems. Talk to these two.
Outrageous! Why doesn't the Abbey crack down on the taverns? They are dens of evil that dispense only luxury, temptation, and escape. They must be stopped.
I'd rather they didn't. That place over there has the best drinks in town.
See, that's exactly what I mean. They tempt us into wickedness, ruining man and woman alike. The more you drink, the happier and more joyful you get. All the important things in life stop mattering.
Their Mabo curry is delicious.
No, no, no! See? Even children are being tempted by their evils. Eating both Mabo and curry together. It's heresy. There is a limit to the amount of luxury one can endure. What the world needs now is abstinence, austerity, restraint.
If you want to deny yourself, go ahead and do it. But don't force your beliefs onto others. People eat to live. Some even live to eat. It's part of being human.
Velvet.
That's pretty convincing coming from you.
Leave me alone.
Hey, I want to eat and drink to my heart's content too, but doing so makes us no better than animals. In order for humanity to survive these harsh times, we need to overcome our instincts and act like rational beings.
So the reactionary youth here continues and says, only those who understand order are good people. Those who give in to temptation are rubbish. Pretty strong beliefs there, chat. Oh, we haven't talked to you yet. What do you have to say? It says, Lord Artorias is a living whirlwind. He's never in the same place for more than an hour. He does enough for more than 3 men. Even his attendants have never seen him sleep. Oh, he does so much. Sacrifices so much. Ooh, don't use that word near Velvet. I don't think she appreciates it. So what I like is we can actually see this character later on. So we'll remember that there's some guy that wants to close all the taverns down. Now on the way out, we'll trigger the other skit.
High Priest Gideon is an honest and righteous man. He's dedicated his life to his faith and to the church. Now, as the representative of the clergy, he's thrown his full support behind the Abbey.
So, he's a man of principle.
That's right. He even donated his personal savings to support orphanages and hospitals. So be at ease, for he offers up prayers for all equally, even for the more dubious among us, such as yourselves.
Right. I'm so grateful.
I can feel the tears of gratitude coming. Any moment now.
Oh my gosh. The blessing of the Empyrean and Omenata extends equally to all, so pray faithfully and without hesitation. Chat, I just love the group sarcasm. I think this is more my kind of humor in terms of the game writing. I just love it, chat. So apparently, Chris was asking earlier what they put in the Mabo curry. Apparently it's a very sinful dish, according to that reactionary youth we just spoke to. We call this world desolation. Demon Blade and famine have been rampant here, but Lord Artorias is with us now. Under his guidance, we could change this desolate land into a paradise of hope and reason. I think when we go do the next quest, I think what I'll do is I'll swap out the uniforms again. I might leave Laphicet in the other uniform, though. So let's see. Showman says, she twirls like snowflakes and blossoms like flames. You won't see a dancer like this in the capital again. Don't miss your chance. So those two eventually got their permit, I suppose. So the soldier saying the Aldina Plains stretch east from the city. It used to be a place of unmatched beauty. That was before the land started shifting around. Now it's off limits. So the Earth itself seems to be reshaping for some reason. That kind of goes into why it was blocked off earlier. So we'll speak to each of these people. Let's see. What is Demon Blade? I've heard some say it's a plague brought over from the far continent. I think it's a curse that was once sealed away in old ruins. They're trying to theorize where Demon Blade came from. Also, that's kind of painful to put a rose corsage on your chest where there's no clothing. Wasn't really paying attention to that before, but geez, Eisen. Let's see. Old Man says, the Empyreans have been venerated for centuries, but they're mostly forgotten during the Long Peace. Now Lord Artorias shows up and everyone is suddenly a believer. People could be so fickle. So the old woman is just kind of responding in general. That people haven't forgotten their humanity despite their lack of faith. Fair enough. So I want to check one other location to make sure we haven't missed anything. Actually, technically two. Since I want to check the inn one more time to see if any NPC dialogues have reset. Oh, there is another dialogue here. Oh, they're recommending us to go to the Mabo Curry. Oh, actually, let's go back up there. Oh, no new conversations from them. Chris is saying in the chat, Mabu curry would be a fusion of Mabu tofu and curry. He explains, Mabu tofu is a spicy Chinese dish made with minced pork tofu, Szechuan peppercorns, fermented chili paste. Basically just mixing that with curry powder and curry sauce. It's very sinful. Oh, I got distracted and I went the wrong direction. Let's go back south. I wanted to check near where we listened to the speech. And then I think with that, we'll try leaving town. So I think our goal is to see how far we get with the requests. We might have enough time to finish all three. I definitely do not want to start the chain of events after we complete all three, so that'll definitely be a hard stop regardless. But our goal is to get through as many as we can, while also still witnessing all the dialogues. See, now there's new people here to talk to. So the head chamberlain's asking if Prince Percival is out falconing. So something else came up, but he canceled the trip. So something important came up where the prince no longer thought he should do falconing, which is a bit odd. What do you have to say, soldier? Audiences with Lord Artorias are full for the next few months. And he doesn't know where he is presently. So apparently the aristocrats really want to speak to him. We already know they're very unhappy with him. Possibly because the aristocrats were at least on par with the king. As they kind of mentioned earlier, they're moving more into theocracy. And since he's the head of the church and is also taking over for Lord Percival, I imagine there's probably a big rift forming. Hello, young aristocrat. So he's just explaining that to be an exorcist, you have to be more than a hard worker. You have to have residence. Okay. Okay, I was about to say, I wasn't sure if they were going to respond to that. So they're saying it's unfair that they were chosen for this life at birth. And now the aristocrat is mentioning that since they're nobles, did they have room for complaint? I wasn't sure if the game was going to finish that thought process. But yes. So some people are just born to be elite exorcists, and they get the privilege. So they get a higher social standing just because. Well, I think at this point I'll go ahead and switch out our look and feel. We've seen a lot of Aizen. I'll put Aizen in at least something. Guess we could put him in the jacketless version for a little bit. Just to show off different outfits. So for now, I think we talked to everybody here. So let me just do another save here, because we haven't saved in a while. And we'll continue outside the town. So we haven't really seen the others and their outfits yet. That's why I want to leave them in it. But Aizen, we've seen him in all directions at this point in the swimwear. It's fine. Let's see. What do you have to say, soldier? The Gallus Lake Road runs through wetlands northeast of the city. Its depths are a nest for demons. It leads all the way out to the Aldina Plains. Don't head that way unless you're prepared. Hello there, soldier. See if your papers are in order. Oh, it's the same soldier we talked to last time. Hello, woman. What do you have to say?
Magilou's menagerie. You've come to exactly the right place.
You must be a Bloodwing. What do you want?
You already know about the Code Red demons, right?
The really strong demons the Abbey wants gone? Yeah.
Would you ever consider hunting them down for us? We'll reward you properly.
Reward? Why pay us when the Abbey would do it for free?
It's complicated. The Abbey is calculating in their deployments, especially where Code Red demons are concerned.
I get it. They'll only act if they determine the demon would cause more harm than the losses they'd incur in battling it. That does seem logical.
But sometimes people have lost a loved one to such a demon. Or sometimes they have a connection to the person the demon used to be. Wherever there's a Code Red demon, you can bet there are people willing to pay good money to have it killed.
And let me guess, that's where the Bloodwings come in.
Exactly. There are Bloodwings all throughout Midgand who have information on these Code Red demons. If you defeat a demon and report back to my comrades, they'll make sure you're well compensated.
All right, I understand. But I won't make any promises.
That's fine. No sense in drawing up a contract when the hunter probably won't survive anyway. If you get results, let us know. We'll hold up our end. That being said, I'd feel guilty if I didn't help out at least a little, so here, take this.
Those Bloodwings are definitely a rough crowd.
To be fair, things are never that straightforward when you're dealing with demons.
All that matters is that there's something in it for us if we hunt those Code Red demons. The only thing better than fighting formidable foes is getting paid for it.
Just remember that these Code Red demons are tough enough to make the Abbey shiver. We'd be wise not to underestimate them.
We should talk to those Bloodwings before considering any of the marks. They might have information that will help us prepare.
Yeah, and we better remember to upgrade our equipment.
Right.
Okay, so she gave us an item that technically we already have. So this is useful if we want to go directly to, for example, Port Zexin. So the game is just introducing another way to teleport. So there's two type of bottles, the Denora and the Enof. The Denora lets you leave dungeons, and this one just lets you teleport to a town. So between the two of them, you can fast travel just about everywhere.
Hey, Laphicet.
What is it, Roguro?
Mabo curry.
Huh? Oh.
You're an interesting one. You like Mabo curry that much, huh?
It smells good. And it's creamy and kind of spicy. Eating it made me feel nice.
I'd say you love it then. Do all Malakim have such an appetite?
Each has their own tastes. Some eat a lot, some eat a little. Just like humans or demons.
What do you like, Aizen?
Drinks, I suppose.
What else?
Pretty much just drinks.
Don't you like anything else?
Is it a problem if I don't?
No. I'm just wondering.
For me, it's drinks and candied sweet potatoes.
That's where you boil strips of sweet potato in oil and then coat them in sugar, right?
Yeah, I never get tired of them.
So you like to drink, but you've also got a sweet tooth?
Yeah. Is that so strange?
No.
Candied sweet potatoes. Sounds good.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just a sign that you're alive, remember?
Right.
Hello there. Bloodborne Woman says, oh, I'm sure you're already aware, but if you screw up during a hunt and die, we aren't responsible. So now they're formally introducing the Code Red hunt. So we heard it before that we could do them, and I think we killed the Code Red Demon Bat already in the caves somewhere outside of Helavis. Apparently it takes a long time to get the permit, this guy is saying. It took him half a year. I want to go back inside because I think we can go ahead and get paid for it now. So there's going to be an NPC that will give out money if you manage to beat any of the Code Red demons. Oh, the girl apparently thinks the prince and Artorias are handsome. We also got another skit, so let's listen to the skit.
Well, we've learned one thing coming to the capital. The Abbey and Shepherd Artorias have expanded their power immensely.
They might as well be the Empire now. They have the undying support of the populace.
The Shepherd, savior of humanity.
I wonder what he meant by the blessings of the Empyrean Enominat.
That's what they call the gods they worship in church, right? The Empyreans? He promised a lot in that speech. But can he really command such a power?
I have no idea. Not even we Malakim know of them beyond the stories and legends. He called Enominat the 5th Empyrean. There should only be 4, one ruling each element.
Is he talking about a new Empyrean?
Have you heard anything, Laphicet?
Sorry. I don't know anything about this.
It doesn't matter. We should be careful about taking his words at face value. The man is no saint. He'll stop at nothing to achieve his aims. But there's no way he could have a god at his beck and call.
Don't underestimate the Abbey.
Trust me, I'm not. That's why I'm using the Shadow Guild to help us hunt them down. And to make sure that I kill him.
We could tell Velvet's having a little bit of a one-track mind when it comes to that. Indeed it is. So I want to show this off. So we saw the purple icon for the tavern. But now we see a kind of like beast symbol. I think it's a wolf. I forgot to talk to these people. Let's talk to them. Oh, this... Pat, I'm going to draw your attention to this because this is probably the most messed up one that comes up again later. So just remember there's a little girl asking for a dog. Just remember that specific one, chat. And keep in mind, there are a lot of dogs here. I want you to remember this because that's actually an important piece later in the game. Dog Breeder says a dog is a man's best friend. If you're attacked by demons, a cat will run away, but a dog will stand to defend its master. Everybody should have a guard dog. Hello, Bloodwing Agent. So she's just remarking we killed the demonic bat. We could talk to her again to see what other quests are now available. So we could see that there's one out in the Galleys Lake Road, but we're not able to go to it just yet. Also, we're starting to notice that the enemy levels are going up very, very high relative to us, and that's just because we're on Chaos mode. So normally, you would only have up to hard mode at this point in the game, but if we were to beat the Creeping Viper, as it says here, we'd be able to go to Intense. So if you go ahead and do the hunts, you will be rewarded with more challenging gameplay. But if you're there just simply for the story, then not 100% necessary. You can kind of pick and choose. I do think the one to flip while you're in the air after being struck is actually pretty useful in certain boss fights. So that's why I would recommend that one. But otherwise, pretty much all optional. Let's go ahead and run on out of here. I think we've seen all the skits possible at this point. So, we could walk to the next destination, but... You know what, let's actually take advantage of our bottle and just warp straight to Zexen. Do we have any new dialogue with any of these characters? So far, no. Seems like I bought out the store. That's fine. We'll check the inn real quick. Now, technically what I could do, chat, just to clarify, I could hit... It's square on the PlayStation controller. I could hit square in order to see... if there's any skits on the inside. So I just wanted to show that off. You don't technically have to go into a place to see if there's a skit. Now, I haven't touched this yet, but technically I can enter the world map. And similarly, I can click a location and kind of scroll through to check for additional skits. So I think that's a pretty neat feature. I won't be using it too often because I'm fairly comfortable with the game. You'll only see the world map when I'm specifically trying to travel on the world map, but just in case you want to know, if you wanted to backtrack to see if there's any skits after you do an event, you don't have to walk all the way back to town. It's kind of nice. Oh no, that guy came from Helaviz. Got some bad news for him.
Nectar is a powerful nutritional supplement, but it's also addictive, so only medical professionals are permitted to make it and prescribe its use. But lately, black market nectar is being moved around in huge quantities.
Are you selling?
Don't be ridiculous. I am an honest merchant. Then again, demand for it is probably huge. Besides being highly nutritional, it is also highly intoxicating. Look at the age we're living in. I don't blame people for wanting an escape.
You think so? I think a good drink is far better.
What's peculiar about the whole thing is the Abbey. They could put a stop to it easily if they wanted to. Anyway, no one knows who's making it or how it's getting around, but good citizens shouldn't touch the stuff. Got it?
So that's an interesting observation the guy made. Oh, that's also another interesting observation. I'll say this one out loud. So it says, just between you and me, I wonder where the Abbey gets all of its money. They seem to have a limitless supply. Where do they get the funds to build things like the Sea Fort or the new temple? So this guy just introduced the fact that there is an actual drug in the world called nectar. It's apparently highly addictive. Nobody knows where it comes from. But people will pay a lot of money for it. And apparently the Abbey is not doing anything to stop it. So I think the chat can have some general suspicions of what's happening there. Oh. I was going to continue with the story, but it seems like my connection has dropped for a little bit. So I'm just going to go into a random encounter until I see the connection come back. Because I'm sure chat will not miss the random encounter. So we'll give it a second. Hopefully it'll wake up a bit more. Yeah, let's just get into a couple fights.
Are we ready for this?
Oh, I just realized I put myself on manual. I do like the manual mode for other kinds of combat, but for now I'm not going to do that. We'll show off some more of the costume here. I might have to deal with this. It's still not booting back up, unfortunately.
Dead yet?
Come on, really?
I'll just respond to the chat. Yeah, I think it died a little bit. So, oh, we'll give it a second. One moment. Technical difficulties. So I'm gonna put it in be right back for now. Let me look into this. I mean, I don't mind doing combat while it comes back, but I need to make sure it can come back. Otherwise, I'm going to have to hard reset the router, which would not be preferable. Oh, I think it's coming back up. Huh. Very strange. It seems every time I go to do the router test, it seems to fix it. So maybe next time I see it dip, I'm just going to make it do a router test. Not really sure why that's the case. I would love to know if other people have that issue, where you just suddenly go to 0 upload speed for no reason, but you still have connection. Very strange. So we'll give the chat a moment, and hopefully they'll be able to see and hear in a second.
You're strong, but I'm strong.
In the meantime, I'll let people know they're wide open. Oh, the connection is now green, so it should be back up. Let's do a couple more kills while we're here. We could reset the store. Welcome back, chat. I forced my connection to reset, I guess, by doing a speed test.
You won't get any pity or
So I noticed the connection dropped towards the end of the skit, so I'm just doing 3 battles to reset the shopkeeper. I made sure not to do any plot. Don't worry about that, Chad. You have not missed plot outside of me talking about Nectar. Oh, sorry, I forgot to swap that back. Thank you, Chad. Now you should be seeing the game. I figure we're not doing plot. It doesn't matter too much. But it would help to see the combat. Silly enemies.
But I'm this close. I won't miss. Form 0.
Time to get like 4 souls back from that. Oh no, the bonus boss again? I mean, I saved kind of recently. I don't know.
But I'm this close. I won't miss.
I mean, I did power up a little bit. I guess I could see how far I could get in retrospect. This is just so stupid. Why didn't he stun them? Anyway, it's going much better because I have Hurricane Thrust. Although now I just got hit, so now things are not going as well. There we go, got my health back. I think with Hurricane Thrust, we might actually be able to beat this monster, as long as I don't get one shot. Which, it shouldn't happen, but I'm not going to say it can't happen. Oh, somebody else got this done. Man, he just keeps evading me. Stop. Oh, somebody else got this done. That's a shame. Okay, I'm gonna use an item because I don't really care about grade at this point. I just want to win. We'll give Velvet some health. I'm kind of at a weird point where I don't have any souls. Ah, I think because he has one soul, I can't really do anything. Oh, I want to not get hit by that. Oh, he doesn't have enough. I'm in a little bit of trouble because now I'm kind of at a point where I'm very low in health with a lot of key characters. I mean, I can kind of you're wide open him for more damage. There we go. We're slowly chipping him down, chat. I think we can actually do this. Without items, not really worth risking. As you can see, we're slowly racking up the damage. He's got 30k health. This boss is not a joke. Ooh, I did that too late, actually. So this won't do a lot of damage, unfortunately. It will give us another soul. I love that even the AI knows to use Hurricane Thrust. I love it, chat. It's very silly. Ooh, what a tough boss. Please die. Ooh, I got lucky there. Oh no. It's being very aggressive. I don't want that. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a life bottle. I'm gonna have to stun him. Oh, I got killed. This is bad. Ooh. Okay, I was doing pretty well, but unfortunately, I kind of had a lull where I wasn't using Rokuro, and I think that was the problem. I think I could still do this, as long as I don't get hit by the little snakes. Which, unfortunately, they are all over me, which is what I kind of don't want to have happen. It has me kind of scared. So let us go ahead and use a grape gel on Velvet to keep her alive longer. And she's not blocking. This is very bad. Okay, chat. We're trying to pull through, but the game is not making this easy. So I will try to go up and counter. Ooh. Ooh, that got kind of close, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I countered that. That would have done a lot of damage to us otherwise. So again, I would really prefer if they could keep our teammates alive. There we go. This should do a decent amount of damage because he's stunned, as I said before. Oh. I did not expect to get hit during that. Come on, Isaac, kill him. Oh, we're so close, chat. Yes. Okay, we beat the boss.
You made me unleash my full power.
Oh, chat, I promise you it is not normally that hard. Okay, we beat somebody that was like almost... What was it? Like 4 times our level? Somewhere between 3 and 4 times our level. We are not meant to win that kind of fight. So we got the Pioneering Ignisite and Silver Scrap, and we leveled from that. He did give a lot of experience, but normally what'll happen is that if you don't die... Like, look how much grade I would have gotten had I not died. I would have gotten 50 plus. So if you're playing on a lower difficulty, this is obviously a lot easier to get the grade. And it's a decent amount of cash, too, because at this point in the game, if you're not abusing expeditions, 19,000 Gald is a lot of Gald. It's So there we go, chat. I brute forced that fight. No regrets.
All right.
One other thing I might want to switch over to, if I auto cook something else, 50,000 or more total damage. Once we start doing more damage, chat, I will probably switch over to the Heavenly Fruit Parfait so we could just get more general items. And unfortunately, I don't have any Barbados butter, or else I would do this one for more equipment. But hey, we got revenge. So that's where I'm talking about. It's very, very important to just get all those little minor upgrades. It does actually make a big difference. So we are definitely gonna save because that was not a straightforward fight. But see, chat, all we needed was Aizen's weapon to get upgraded, so he did more damage with You're Wide Open. And then Rokuro learned Hurricane Thrust, aka the thing that did like 60% of that boss's health because he was just in a stun loop forever. So there you go, chat. I mean, come on, we were very low level when we beat that, and we did not have. Well, I mean, we had strong equipment, but it was obviously not as godlike on a New Game Plus comparatively. Oh, we haven't talked to you before. She says, ever since I saw the shepherd's speech, I've been praying towards the Empyrean's throne in the north. It says, Great Empyrean Inominat, suppress the blight of demons and deliver us from human sin. Ooh, chat. Ooh, I like that they use the word suppress. We're gonna remember that that's how they reference it there. Inominat is going to suppress things. People that have seen the game before are like, oh no. And people that haven't seen the game before are like, that doesn't sound good either. Oh, we will see, chat. That will come up again. But it's very interesting how much of the verbiage comes up early at this point. So we could go straight to the warehouse, but let's not do that. Let's speak to these people first.
Have you heard? The Abbey is building a new base. I hear it's a huge temple in the middle of some mountains near a site of ancient ruins. If they've got time to build a temple, they should use it to kill more demons instead.
You sure you want to talk like that here?
Ha! I'm different from all those losers who swoon over the shepherd's pretty words and ignore reality. No one's found a way to cure demon blight yet, and demons are still swarming everywhere. Sure, maybe things are not as bad as they could have been, but we still have no idea what's going to happen next. Think about it. Demons could be infiltrating the city as we speak, and we'd be none the wiser.
Yep, you're completely right.
He won't be duped, tricked, cheated, or swindled. I'm not like the other fools. I like that kind of tongue-in-cheek humor where the guy's like, no demon will get the better of me, and we're playing it's like the party of demons. I do find a lot of amusement from it, Chad. Again, I think the humor in this game...
The guards are gone. Let's move in.
Benwick and the crew did a fine job.
Is more what I'm looking for if they're going to do some more lighthearted elements. So we have some dark concepts in the game, but I think overall, the skits in this particular session have been very good. So let's continue into the warehouse. Well, those are the red boxes we were told to take a look at. But since we're here, we should probably open this chest. We got the amber fragment. Ooh, there's also a collectible here. Another amber fragment. How nice. Chris is saying, to be fair, only half our party is demons. That's true.
Red crates. These must be our targets. The seal of Midgand Cathedral?
Should we look inside?
There's no need. Burn them, Laphicet.
Okay.
We're done here. Let's go.
That storm cost too much time. I must report to Lord Artorias as soon as possible. It's you!
Oh hey, the crybaby.
Eleanor Hume, Exorcist Praetor.
Okay, so this time there doesn't appear to be a power link here. She's resistant to earth, weak to fire, but truthfully, chat, she's weak to hurricane thrust. Everybody, oh, these enemies are resistant towards it. That's a bit of a shame.
You won't get away this time.
You really want to fight, don't you?
She's not waiting her turn politely. I don't approve of this. Ooh, they're very fast with the spells due to Chaos Mode. See, I stunned with Lofty Set and I just quickly tagged into Aizen, because this was fair.
Ready to die? Think you can dodge? Just try.
Ooh, look at that damage, chat. Beautiful.
No escape! No escape!
Oh, I gotta be careful. So one thing I want to check with Aizen chat before we go any further. So unfortunately right now I have mostly only stun moves. I'm hoping I get something else that causes a status ailment, so that way we can continue our combo. Like, Wind Lance will cause a status ailment, and that's also kind of fine to put at the end of a combo. I don't recall if I mentioned this specifically, but basically the later we are in a chain, the faster a spell will cast. So I could just do a couple of rapid thrusts into it. But the downside is I normally keep around 3 souls, so normally I don't do a full 4-hit combo here. Oh, I didn't dodge that. I'm sorry, how is he low on health? Hold on. I'm micromanaging the characters, chat, because I just love how easy it is to switch mid-fight compared to the previous game we played. Oh no, chat. I'm so sorry, boss. I'm so sorry. This is so unfair. Oh, look at that damage it dealt to her. Jeez. Oh, we countered her? That was so disrespectful. Oh, she broke our guard. Good for her. Right, chat? Good for her. There we go. I lifted her up with Form 2.
Willing to fight without your Malakim?
No! You set the storehouse ablaze? The people have worked so hard to withstand this time of crisis. How can you destroy what they have so painstakingly built?
Because I'm not human.
You'll pay for this, you demon!
More Malakim up her sleeves.
I will protect you, Madam Eleanor! Come and face me now, demon!
Oh no, chat.
He's adorable. Am I?
Ooh, I found you at last.
That bad voice!
Bienfu, you traitor! You'll never leave my clutches again!
Not her! No!
What are you doing? Get out there and fight!
Hey, look! Is that smoke?
It is! Fire!
The fire has spread enough. Let's get going.
You're coming with us.
Let me go! Witch nippers!
Madam Exorcist! What happened?
Oh, you're badly hurt.
I can wait. Gather the people and put out that fire.
Yes, madam.
Tell me, do you know what was being kept in that warehouse?
Mostly nectar, I believe.
Hmm.
Vast stores of the medicine provided by High Priest Gideon to be distributed to doctors across the land.
Medicine given by the church. Why would anybody destroy it?
Uh-oh, chat. Nectar's being labeled as medicine. Also, we stomped her in that fight. Can we talk about that? Like, that was just kind of unfair. Like, we didn't have any deaths. We caused 19 stuns and we used 23 break souls. That's phenomenal. So I think I played as everybody in that fight. I played as Velvet probably the least, and we had Laphicet kind of stun. But yeah, generally speaking, because I'm so used to playing multiplayer with other people, I actually very rarely use Velvet. Plus, I feel like she's very overpowered, so hopefully you as the chat enjoy me switching out to all these different characters, and it's not too confusing. But yeah, Rokuro is pretty straightforward when I play him, don't worry. I already know what his best move is. Like, why change? So let's see. We got a lot of damage reduction, which would have been pretty good, I think, in the other fight. As I think he was either doing Earth or non-elemental. I don't recall offhand. The ape with the rapid punch. But hey, we're now getting more bonuses, I guess. Yeah, unfortunately, Rokuro does not have too many Earth-type moves. I mean, he does have Form 2, where he puts, like a trap on the ground, which I do find useful in some fights. But honestly, Hurricane Thrust's so good. Intermediate Ignite. We'll have to see what some of these do.
Looks like we're in the clear.
Misfortune and anguish! I had that little turncoat right in front of me! Well, at least now I know where to find him.
That weird little Moloch was the one you were looking for?
The very same. The Moloch Bienfu! A creature of unfathomable wickedness and beguiling cuteness who broke the heart of this wretched maiden! Once I finally catch him, who knows what I'll be capable of?
Not sure I get it.
Me neither.
Good. Pray that you never do.
Pray that you never do, chat.
Go back and report our success.
So they're asking us to report our success. So we're not allowed to go back into Port Sexton. The warehouse district is probably in chaos right now. We should stay away until things cool off. Well, since we mastered new equipment, chat, we might as well as upgrade. So unfortunately, we're going to lose a little bit of art power, but hey, we're getting tankier. And that's kind of all I really care about. So it seems like we do not have any other things we could teach these Oh, I'm sorry. They actually did not learn to use their boot battle skill yet, so we'll back it up to the battle boots. Actually, speaking of which, can I just give him anything else? Yeah, more defense is fun. So let's see. Let us check what items we just picked up. Should be under the new category. Oh, I think because we technically have collected it before, it's not in there. I don't think we got too many of these. Yeah, I'm also enjoying a map movement speed bonus. Oh, here we go. It actually did mark them. So it unlocks level 2 random skills. Oh, okay, so it gives an example. So instead of the attack +5, it may become attack +8. But that also includes things like the different break souls, so that's good. I know we got the Pioneering Anise site earlier. And I think that's all that's really relevant at the moment. So it's neat that it marks it as new, even though we have it already. So again, I'm getting a slight benefit of New Game Plus of just moving faster and getting the ability to have an unblockable attack a bit earlier. We'll go ahead and pick up that silver chest since we're here. I want to check one location before we do the last mission. I think we're gonna hold off on the one where we need to investigate into the swampland, because that one's gonna take a while. I think I have enough time to do exactly one more. And this one is not too far away. See, normally I would get caught there without the map movement. So from a time-saving perspective, it's nice to be able to move quicker earlier. Okay, so I just want to draw your attention that nothing is currently in this area. We'll be coming back to this in a little bit. There should be an herb here. Yeah, focus +2. Oh, I think I know where all the herbs we're going to. Laffy should not be at 108 focus, for those of you who have not seen the game before. He should be at like 40. But that's fine, he's at 110. I'm sure that's okay. He should not have more than Velvet. But oh, a cat's chest. Goodbye 95 cat spirits. So we are roughly, I think, halfway through the chests we need in order to go to a bonus area later. Maybe a little shy of halfway. I wasn't quite keeping track. We've gotten at least 7 or 8 chests. I think you need either 15 or 20. You're right. Now he's at 110, Chris. You're right. He's now at the proper number. So I think we'll get into probably one more fight in a moment. I just want to not pull the dangerous encounter. There we go. Oh yeah, we're starting to do a lot more damage. That's good. Yeah, your wide open is now killing them in like one try. Like, look at the damage, chat. Look at the wolf health. It did a quarter when he's not stunned and a half when he is stunned. That's kind of nasty. Ooh, damage multiplier. Ooh. Look at that damage, chat.
That's all,
Unarmed? Hardly. These are deadly weapons.
Huh. What'll it take to make you go all out?
So we got a very important skill on Aizen. Aizen's wind attack power +4 is extremely good, because that applies to a lot of his arts. Let's go over to Aizen just to showcase. So I don't use Verdict offhand, but things like Clear Path to absorb health, the AI will use a lot. Wind Lance is our only attack spell at the moment. We'll even get some wind melee strikes if I'm not mistaken. So it's pretty well rounded to get that. So I'm very happy we got that. So now we could switch off this, which only gives us 51 attack, but more importantly gives us a lot of focus. We'll switch it off into probably this one, which just gives us a lot of raw attack stats, which is good, because all I really care about him is the raw attack stats, because I will be shouting, "You're wide open," and absolutely destroying them. I do not really care about getting the initial stun with Aizen specifically. It's nice if he can, but it's not mandatory kind of thing. Ooh, another skit.
What's the deal with you and that exorcist Eleanor?
She had tears in her eyes when we first saw her at Northgand. Velvet poked fun at her, calling her the crybaby exorcist.
Why would an exorcist cry?
Sacrificing the individual for the good of the many is part of Artorias' philosophy. She seemed troubled by that. She's naive.
That she can still carry on shows just how strong she is. It looks like they don't hand out the rank of Praetor to just anyone.
Hmm?
Just stay sharp around her. That's all.
By the way, was that Bienfu character that Magulu was after really a Moloch?
He may look strange, but yes, he's still a Moloch.
That means Magulu is an exorcist. Why does she call herself a witch then?
If she got locked up in that prison, she must have been kicked out of the Abbey.
Or she could be a fraud.
Yeah. Even if she wasn't an exorcist, she could still perform some tricks with a Moloch like that.
I will protect you, Madam Eleanor. Face me now, demon.
Right? Was that laughter?
I'm sorry.
Why apologize? Bienfu is funny, right?
Right.
Then if you want to laugh, laugh.
If you think that's funny, you should give it a try for yourself. Say,
"Hi, I'm Laffyset."
All right. Hi, I'm Laffyset.
Knock it off.
Huh?
what's the problem?
People are staring. Don't attract attention.
I'm sorry.
She's so uptight. Let's try it together later, Laffyset.
All right.
I thought that was kind of an interesting bonding scene. I also like that, in terms of writing, I'll bring it up again. I think I mentioned this in a couple different games, but I really like it when there's consistency with what characters know and don't know. So I like that skit because it identified that Aizen was not in the party at the time, and he had a question as to why we called Eleanor the crybaby exorcist. I kind of like that, tying it together, because it adds that cohesion that they actually feel like real characters asking very typical questions. And we got a little more insight on, I guess, the way Aizen thinks as well as Velvet thinks. But then the game was kind of pushing the pro Bienfu agenda, which I feel like a lot of people that have seen the game before are very divided whether or not they like Bienfu. It's okay if you don't. He's supposed to be a kind of comedy character, as the game tries to reinforce there. But some people find his voice annoying. I'm kind of neutral to it. I don't really think about it, honestly. Oh, we got a new skill here. Interesting. Hello, Rokuro. You're looking for new boots to wear. Why don't you put that on? That should be good. So he wore the waistcoat and maxed it. Oh, but he didn't get the amber waistcoat yet. Again, I want to be really careful to always go down just to make sure I didn't unlock a lower rank item. Ooh, he hasn't quite mastered everything yet. He's getting close, though. So she mastered the aqua ring, so I think I can move her safely to the wind ring to reduce wind damage. Percentage-based reduction is preferable when I'm given the choice. It seems like there's nothing beneath that rank I need to get. Unfortunately, the absorb HP art, again, I don't find that useful. the AI might use it every now and then, but honestly, with my playstyle, I always fish for Break Souls. If I'm gonna heal, it's only going to be through the power of Break Soul and nothing else. I refuse to use anything else. Chris just says bad comedy in reference to Bien Phu. It's not my thing. I'm assuming it is amusing to some people, but you know, they maybe overdid it with the voice. There's one voice actress, I should clarify, that I find far more excruciating, and that voice actress I absolutely cannot stand, and I apologize ahead of time, chat, when we get to that character. It is quite something to sit through. Okay, let's go report in.
Trouble at the docks, was there? Well, so long as the job was done.
Okay, so we're not going to search for a missing man. Let's foil an ambush.
Good luck. I look forward to hearing your report.
So, somebody means to ambush the Royal Medical Society on the Danan Highway.
The Royal Medical Society is a group of doctors that travel around healing the sick.
They're funded by donations given by ordinary folk.
Why would anyone attack them?
Don't ask me. Some people are just twisted.
And why would an underworld group defend them?
Who knows? Something to do with the attackers, perhaps?
So, in the previous mission, we destroyed a whole bunch of nectar that were put into crates with the holy symbol of Midgand. Just want to check one more thing. Yeah, we might as well buy these. And now we're hearing an attack on the Medical Society. Oh, here's the other chest. It is a plain pendant. Ah, see, we didn't have this. This was what I was looking for earlier. I thought there was another item we could equip. So I'm going to move him off of the memory locket and probably move him down to plain pendant, as I said before. I'm going to make sure he's still learning skills, because otherwise it's kind of a waste. Oh. I think I said I was going to switch him off. Guess I could switch him to the jacketless version of the outfits. I don't really like Velvet's jacketless version, I'm going to be honest. Like, I could tolerate the other outfits, but I feel like if you're going to do it, I just like the look of this one a lot more. I guess we could play with their color variant for a while. I'm not a huge fan of that color, but I figured I'd show that off. So the Danan Highway is just north of us. So this is also a pretty quick quest comparatively. So that's why I was thinking if, depending on the time, I would do all of them. But I think we're going to stop after we hand in this one. I was going to make the jacketless squad, but then I'm like, feeling mixed about it. So all we have to do, chat, is we just have to go right around this corner and then make a sharp right. So remember where I was showing off that area where I said nothing was there currently? Well, something will be there now. Let's go to investigate it. And away we go, chat. They're all wearing red. He looks very mad.
Hey, get out of our way! That there! That's our food! Give it up! It's ours!
So people just turn into demons after presumably murdering the medical society.
See this? No escape! You're wide open! No escape! Let's go! No escape!
Ooh.
You're wide open!
Oh, Eisen, just do what you do best. Let them know they're wide open.
You're wide open!
And when he doesn't do it manually, I'll do it. I'll do it.
No escape! No escape!
Oh my gosh. What a monster, chat. What an absolute monster. There's no escape, chat.
So the attackers were demons. I guess that's why they needed us to stop the attack.
The doctors?
Looks like they ran off. It appears they were after this stuff.
Medicine with the cathedral seal.
That scarf, did that belong to the attackers?
Yeah, all three were wearing them. Does it mean something?
They were just humans. Aggressive ones who attack the innocent.
Well, we got a little grade for that. They didn't count as a boss fight, which is fair. But hey, we now reduce fire damage by 4%, so that's good. Let's go ahead and swap out our items here, chat. As I said before, we're just going to move on up the tiers. So let's continue to do so. Wow, his defense was pitiful. Did you see that, chat? For a moment, his defense was like 90. And then compared to Rokurou, who is supposed to be naturally tanky, I think, with like 200. Velvet is up there just because of her advanced items. And then the god. The absolute god. I do like the look of the different weapons as you go through them. Well, we'll put them with the calcite paper. Again, that is a nice touch. Oh, we got Armstrong. This one is probably more my playstyle of weapon for Aizen because I don't use him for spells until like much later in the game. Right now I just focus him as a melee character, so getting 10% additional attack is actually pretty big for us. Because potentially with just a couple of equipment swaps, that 10% could net us like 20 to 30 extra attack, and we're like not even at like... Well, right now we're only at 180, but we could get quite a lot from that 10%.
Time to leave.
I know, the Laffy said has had enough, chat. And I cannot wait. Speaking of which, I want to check one thing. What Rainbow Mist, I think I did use a lot. Flash Step is an excellent spell. I can't wait till we get to that. Water Hammer's okay. This just helps if you're fighting bosses and you need to hit the water element. That's usually the only point I use it for, just for solo combos. Shell Splitter is a very excellent skill for Velvet. That one is a multi-slicing, I believe, anti-crustacean water elemental attack that I think also causes like defense down or something like that. It has a lot of good things on it. So we'll be using that in general. Plus, because it attacks for so long, it gives our allies more time to reset their combo count or reset their soul gauge a little bit. Speaking of which, I don't think we've actually seen her use her new move of Twin Whip. So I'll do it again. So you can see it anti-airs and then it goes sideways. It's pretty good at stopping the enemy from doing things. And due to the fact that it's very mobile, it's also pretty good at just dodging attacks naturally, which is a good feeling.
Another victory.
Now, one additional thing I'm going to say and why I'm not doing a lot of battles back to back to back. So remember that dangerous fight I was in with the the ape monster that was pretty close? Every time you defeat him up until, I think, roughly double his level, I could be mistaken, but basically every time we beat him, he's going to level up. And on top of that, if we were to do a dangerous encounter, the enemy already naturally levels up with us. So we can actually get him to a pretty high level. I think we could probably get him to like 50 or 60 if we kept refighting him. Which is kind of intense, the stage of the game, only being level 11 fighting something potentially 5 times their level. So we're gonna try not to provoke them too much.
By the way, those folks we just passed were talking about us.
What were they saying?
They were warning each other to be careful, talking about the demons that burned down Helives and destroyed the Seagate Fortress being near the capital.
Considering how bold we've been, everyone's still fairly calm about it.
We'll be famous soon enough once we kill the world's savior.
Sounds like that could get fun.
Fun? Why?
The people trying to capture us will put prices on our heads and put up wanted posters everywhere. Depending on who draws the likenesses, each portrait can look completely different. You know what I'm talking about, right, Aizen?
Aye. I've seen dozens of pictures of myself. Some make me a monster, others make me a handsome youth. It's fascinating, really.
I hope I get a poster soon.
Then do your best to really stir things up.
Right. I'll stir everything up good.
They're very bad influences on Laphicet. So I think I'm not going to hand in the other quest for now. I think we'll hold that off for next time, because I don't want to get sucked into the plot of the next one. So we'll make a little save here. Let's talk about things that we've seen so far. So we now know Artorias is in Logris. We did confirm that. We got to hear a speech. First, it was the introduction of Prince Percival, who made his first appearance in the game. And we learned that he is basically given all power to Artorias. Artorias is apparently also taking the power of the head of the church, and he seems to have charisma when it comes to the crowds of people, so he's influencing them to believe in his order and reason. We saw a little glimpse of Melchior, but we don't really know much at all about him at the moment. We saw that Oscar was there. I think Teresa was also there. And technically, for like a very brief shot in the animated cutscene, we actually saw another character. Just like very, very, very briefly, but we'll go into who that other character is much later on. We didn't even get a name for that character. I don't even think the other characters acknowledged that that character was there. So that's fine. We'll acknowledge that basically what might end up being all the antagonists were in that particular speech cutscene. So now we're basically working under the Bloodwing. We're going to wrap up, I think, next week, the Bloodwing requests, and we're going to probably try to do something to defeat and or greatly hinder Artorias, who is called a shepherd. I'm sure some people that were watching the Zesteria playthrough, that term should sound very familiar. And if not, it's not a big deal either way. But it has some very interesting implications within the game universe. So we also have a little bit of a mystery on our hands, because we also know that the mentor to Artorias has either lived a long time, as I said before, or Artorias has lived a long time. There's something not quite natural about what's going on. I mean, it's generally probably not going to be a coincidence when it comes to an RPG and characters have the same name. Generally, they will not try to confuse you with that. I mean, there's always the off chance that that could be it, but we have a bit of suspicions that something's going on there. And to kind of tie some things back together that we heard before, Prince Percival talked about falconeering, and there's something that interrupted his falconeering that was so important that he skipped a normal hunt that he always takes place in. So that's a little strange, but we haven't really found out more about it. And on top of that, we were learning more about the nectar. So we saw that the supply was destroyed in Port Zexen. It had the cathedral seal. We found doctors who were also transporting the nectar, and they were killed. The demons called it their food, which was interesting, a term that you would not really associate with them. And we saw more of the mysterious red scarves around the village. So I think we'll find out more about these mysteries next time. So for now, have a good day or a good night, depending on the time zone.